A person from Indiana is usually called a Hoosier. Well, today, we're all Hoosiers here. Welcome, everybody. We've arrived in Marion County in the state of Indiana for the fourth ever GP4OC Indy 500. It's not on GP4, it's on our 2003, but it's here, and the 2020 edition is just minutes away. Greetings, everybody. I am Roberto Ionescu, your commentator, and I am joined today by my fellow honorary Hoosiers, Joseph Willows and Dennis Graff. Hello there, guys. Are you Hoosiers
Hello,
today?
everybody.
Good evening. Today I'm not drawer, but I'm the graph remover.
Yeah, indeed.
Looking forward to it indeed, and can't wait for the race to get going. Really, it's going to be an exciting one, I think.
Yes, totally. It's going to be it's going to be great, I'm sure. We've arrived here after what was a very entertaining qualifying session. Well, two sessions, but in any case, yeah, it was quite exciting. And what do you say? What did you think of the session yesterday, guys?
Well, I obviously predicted my the pole position correctly yesterday, so I guess I can count my lucky stars on that one. But yeah, very interesting indeed, especially when the slipstream started to kick in, especially in Q2. But in the end, Bence overcame everybody and snatched the pole. After a while, we thought that maybe Michael Clark was going to get it, but eventually, the speed kept on climbing, and we've ended up here.
Yeah, indeed. So I think it was quite entertaining and quite a nice thing to see the number 0 on number 1 on today's grid. You can see him there just behind the pace car on the right side of your screens. And yeah, what do you say we read the entire grid, guys? We've already decided on an order, so so Dennis, go ahead and start.
Okie dokie then. So as you already said, on pole position we have Ben Swardinger. Alongside him we have Daniel Adventure. In third place we have Maxim Titkov, followed by Michael Clark, who is out in fourth, of course. In P5 we have Wula Motien. In P6 we have the League of Legends player Jamie Kenzie. P7 we have Frank Lopez, aka Frank, the Mercedes. In P8 we have Thomas Pasquale, who is the only guy here in the Indy 500 without being in the official tier. In P9 we have Winella. Alongside him is Michael Mocho in P10. In P11 we have Lian Campana. In P12 we have Jamie Griffiths. In 13th we have Ruslan Potsiuk. In P14 is the first Indy 500 winner, Adam Wolf.
Yes, indeed. Tobias Kress is in P15, starts the second third of the grid. Behind him is George Roque, a British driver, followed by Hiroshima De Rosa in 17th, and David Kupok, his teammate, in 18th. Rafael Dumel is in P19, followed by Jordan Howell. Then is Daniel Fraser and Roman Quag in P22. Lewis Anderson is 23rd on the grid with the reigning champion, Feng Chao China in 24th. Espernian is 25th in his first Indy 500 appearance, followed by Armar Ka for Team Liverpool. Sarinowskan is in 27th, and he is followed by Will Parrish, the man who finished second last time out.
Then in P29, we have the 5-time top-class champion, Florian Volker, ahead of 30th place Dennis Graff in the Graff Remover. In P31, it is Robert Ionescu, back again after finishing in the top 5 last season, followed by Matthias Turwick, who is in P32. Rahul Patel in the Uni Virtuosi will start in P33, with Santino Andreoli in P34. Jake Galloway, the star of the top class this season, is in P35, followed by Alan Jefferson in P36. Then we have Alexander Arnold, who will start in 37th position, followed by the Dazzle Cam Red Bull liveried Franco Gamba in 38th. Then Joseph Frederick Suto will start in 39th position, followed by Gabriel Gomez, the second ever winner of the Indy 500 in 40th, or Gomez as we like to call him. Then the second Gabriel on the grid, Gabriel Rico, is in 41st position, and in 42nd and last, it is Rosetta Martinez.
Yep, that is it. That is the grid for today's event. And now it's time to hear the most famous words in all of racing. Drivers, start your engines. I'm sure the in-game announcer will say them too shortly, but I have said them, and we're just waiting for him. Yeah.
Okay, 2 minutes.
So we've got a few seconds left before the race starts. So early predictions, guys. Who do you think could be the early favourite to get the victory, or do you think it's going to be a bit too soon?
Well, it's hard to predict even in the races where we have just 22 cars. This time we have almost double, and as 2018 proved, anybody can win it. So If I were to be biased, I'd say myself, but I'm not going to be biased here, so it's anyone's game. Just don't crash, stay in the leading group, and you might have a shot.
Yeah, I'll say the
Indeed.
same.
Technically, Gabriel Rico, you're not in last. You're on the back row, but you're not last. You're P41 to be exact. P42 goes to Rosetta Martinez.
Following the test races that Yuri gave us some good information. There should be less cautions than before. There should be more good racing. I might actually get to see some decent strategy this time around. So yeah, there probably will be crashes and cautions, but not as many as in the past. We had like 7 safety cars last season. I think it's going to be less this time.
Knowing our luck, we'll probably get a load of safety cars in this one because we know how the test races used to like to go. So...
Yeah, indeed. But the track is different, and the physics are a little bit different. The racing should be different as well, and it could be quite entertaining. We'll see what's going to happen.
So David Kupok says the guy who's starting in P23 will win the race, which is Julius Anderson. So,
fun fact, by the way, in Yuri's test race, it appeared like pretty much the front 3 were able to pull away from the others, and then they were being caught up back again towards the end. If that is going to play out like that in this race, I don't know. I hope it's going to be exciting. Yuri promised us it could be very exciting, and word for word what he said is, I think this could be the most exciting one yet. Obviously, probably won't top the ending of last season, but it should still be a good race. So I'm hoping he is right, and I trust that he is.
Indeed, if anybody remembers what happened last season, you might want to look back on the YouTube channel because we did post the final 10 laps of it last season.
And I believe no matter what happens, we're gonna post the last 10 laps of this as well. But it's time. Well, you heard the in-game announcer there. I didn't catch his name, but in any case, here we go.
Yeah. Like last season, I will do caution counter.
Okay, 800 kilometers, 500 miles, 2.5 miles each time, 800 turns, by one winner. Who is it gonna be after these 42 drivers? We have 4 Indy 500 winners on the grid. The first 3 and the 4th one. Who is that going to be? We don't know. Will it be one of the 3 who picks up his second ever Indy 500 victory? I have no idea either. But in 200 laps time, we will find out. And it's going to be Ben Waldinger leading the pack. This is going to be very exciting. Dallin Adventure will be side by side with him in towards turn 1. It's all flat out. And the greatest spectacle in offline racing is go, go, go. Here we go.
It's go time.
Good launch for Waldinger, but look at that. The car in third, Maxim Titkov, is already making up a place. Yeah, he's gone past Adventure. Looks like Ronald Mochin has had a great start. He's up into 4th place and could be threatening Adventure here, look. Some good racing already. Waldinger continues to lead. And looks like a close shave there at the back. Don't be panicked if you don't see the entire green one go. It's just how it renders things. But everyone is close by. As look at this. Maxim Titkov is threatening for the lead now. Waldinger holding onto it. And yeah, Adventure losing another place there. He's dropping down to P5, I believe. Going high is not going to help you for track position here. As you complete the first of 200 laps, is Ben Waldinger who leads after the first 2.5 miles.
Start for Motrin, by the way. He's up into 3rd place from 5th. So a very good start for 2 of the 3 Chip Ganassi entries in this race.
Yeah, indeed. Michael Clark, meanwhile, gets past the Adventure. Was under threat from his fellow pole of Jay McKenzie. Franco Lopez trying to get involved in there as well. It looks like Titkov is getting great drive on the back of Ben Waldinger.
He's going to hang back for the moment. As meantime, McKenzie and Adventure, the 2 Polish drivers, go side by side through 3 and 4.
Look at that, Lopez has been overtaken. And that guy is also going to get Adventure as well.
Will Nello, of course. Will Nello in the 22 Penske. And of course, Nello
finished 4th here 2 seasons ago. This time he'll be hoping a gun for the victory. And now Maxim Titkov is looking very close to the back of Waldinger. Mochin is there as well. Waldinger doing a good job defensively so far. But it's only lap 3. This is a long race. It doesn't matter if you lead the 3rd lap. It only matters that you lead the last one.
Indeed so. As meantime, Campana side by side with Adventure now then in the Sahara entry. As it looked like in front there, Waldinger was taking a little bit of a wider line going through into turn 3.
Oh, Adventure's clipped the wall there. A little bit of sparks being kicked up at 28.
He's very lucky there indeed that didn't end in disaster for him. But yeah, Definitely one of the
Absolutely.
big challenges of the Indy, of course. It might be flat out for most of it, but especially if you're stuck in the dirty air, it's a much slower corner indeed, and you really have to lift off if that is the case.
Yeah, indeed. Plus, you don't want to run too close to back another car. These guys may have great reaction times, but they're still human. If you, in the blink of an eye, you could end up in the back of someone. So you need to always be careful, even if the corners are easy flat.
Absolutely right, as we're looking right now at Franco Lopez, in fact, who's got Crest and on the inside of him, not quite sure who it is, but it looks like that Lopez
It looks like
really
it's
swarmed
Crest.
at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. Meanwhile, take a look at this. Neller is going to try to go for another position.
Meanwhile, Motrin getting on the inside there of, is that Titkov he's got by there?
It is. He's on him. And I believe
yeah.
In fact, it's Clark. In fact, Clark's come up to second, in fact, so that's very
Great stuff
interesting. Titkov.
Titkov is
actually
dropping
back.
by a lot. Neller's got him, and I think he might lose yet another place soon enough.
Indeed, as Clark now tries to have a go at Valdinger, but thinks better of it instead, and also trying to drag Motrin along with him.
He had a little look there, as we're on to lap 5, by the way. So that's 1/40th of the race distance. 2.5%, 2.5 miles, you know. In any case, Neller is defending from Lean Campana, the man who missed out on victory on the last corner fix to Michael Clark last season. He'll be hoping he can make amends for it, and he's currently in P6, the American.
Motrin
Take a look
getting
at-
underneath Clark now, and he's going up into P2.
It was a good move. Now he's going to get in that draft from Wallinger and try to attack the Hungarian driver as well.
The Hungarian 1-2 right now. Valdinger ahead of Motrin.
Indeed so. Motrin's gone a little bit high, but I don't think it's going to cost him the place. Either way, Clark is sticking close by. Look at this. Meanwhile, Campana is getting onto the back of Neller. Both these guys finished in the top 5 previously, of course, and they appear to be in that ballpark right about now, or thereabouts.
Absolutely, as Motrin trying to get underneath Valdinger if he can, but not able to do so that time by Valdinger. Been leading since the start of it, and so far looking quite comfortable in front, but still a long, long way to go yet. Don't want to get
indeed.
too ahead of yourself just yet.
It's pretty much impossible to pull away from first place because you're going to be giving them slipstream all the time and you're not going to get any way to boost yourself. So you just need to hang in there or drop back one place. Make sure you don't drop back too much because then you're really in trouble, and try to stick with the group. You only want to be first when you get their checkered flag at the end of lap 200. You don't want to spend too much time in first place unless you can pull some godly defenses, just like Sergio Perez.
Anybody remember this battle from 2016 and 2017, by the way? This is Neller getting underneath Mackenzie.
Yeah, indeed. Fun one. They battle for the world title a couple of times, each of them grabbing a few, and yeah, well, only one for Will Neller, but still. The two of them have 3 titles between them, and they're racing. But now Maxim Titkov is trying to get involved as well in this fight. He's 30 and third. He was up to second. Now he's trying to get back in there. He's grabbed that place.
Well, look at Motrin now, all over the back of Valdinger. Will he attempt it down the straight?
He's getting some great drive, but so is Michael Clark behind. Watch out for the Brit. He could try something. Try to get involved in the battle between the two Hungarians. Meanwhile, it looks like Motrin hasn't gone for it into 1. He might be trying to go low into 2 and get him on exit that way.
Turn 2 now, then we go, as Motrin losing a little bit there. It looks like he was just hanging back for the moment. Remember, in the IndyCar, of course, the technique in this, especially in the 500, you've got to be there at the right place at the right time. Not necessarily the key to always try and go for the lead straight away.
Look at this. Clark is going for the move into 3. Can he hang it low into 4? Going side by side with him, he's got him. A little bit of hesitation for Motrin. Opened the door for Clark, and Clark very clinically took that advantage and just grabbed the position. It looks like Neller is trying to follow through as well. Can he take the inside of Motrin, or is he going to stay high?
Well, he's going to stay behind for the moment, so it looks like only one place Motrin has lost there, so Clark gets himself back into second place, and now he wants to follow Valdinger this time.
Yeah, indeed. Looks like Clark might not stay in second for too much longer because Motrin is all over his gearbox. He's going to try something into 3.
He thought about it that time but he's going to hang back for the moment. As Neller
Don't forget,
as I believe it's
don't forget Michael Clark also finished in the top 5 before. He finished 3rd in the 2018 edition after being involved in a race-long fight with Victor Boba and Gabriel Gomez, the eventual winner. Now, and Clark, I think he became even more famous last season after the shenanigans on the last lap. Now he's fighting for the win again.
Well, we've just seen this. The best lap so far going to Dennis Graff at the moment with a 2:28 on the one of the laps.
Very impressive.
As we look at Adventure now, is on the back of Titkov as Motrin trying again on Clark. That was very close indeed.
Yeah, indeed. So close to contact there. Looks like Nerds trying to make a move on this
Stella.
competitor as well. These guys finished third and fourth at 2,500s ago, and Clark is losing rapidly places. He's under threat from Campana as well.
As now Motrin, is he going to think about a lunge on Bensvaldinger? He's going to think
He
about
is.
it, so we might have a lead change here.
And on lap 12, we got our first lead change. Valliger goes high and he lost a couple of places. Campana is sneaking through as well, quite nicely. That's Benz Valliger gone from first to fourth. In space of just 2 corners, such is the 500.
So Roland Motrin.
Valliger's clipped the wall.
He clipped the wall there?
Yeah, we saw a few sparks being kicked up. Once again by one of the front row people. But Valliger hasn't taken any damage. Definitely quite a lot of adrenaline in these guys, and there's no room for error. Vallinger's dropped to fourth, and looks like he's battling Maxim Titkov again. But we need to look at Will Neller and Lin Campana, because they're going to try to take the lead from Rora Motrin. So far, it's been an entirely Hungarian affair at the front of the pack, but Will Neller's going to try to change that.
Of course, as mentioned a little bit earlier on, it's all about timing in the Indy 500. It's not necessarily the key to try and get the lead early on. It's about getting there at the right place at the right time.
Indeed so, Joe. I think what's the most important thing is you need to... the pack is going to split into groups, pretty much people giving each other slipstream. If you want to have a chance to win, you need to stay as close to the leading group as you can, because it's a long race, plenty of things can happen. As Campana's going for second here.
P2 going to the American of Lin Campana, once again near the front of the field, like he was last season.
Indeed. Will Neller's also been near the front before. It looks like Benz Vallinger's getting closer to him, though. He's going to try to get back into the lead. First, he's going to need to clear Neller, but he ain't that easy to clear, as now Lin Campana continues to pressure Laurent Motrin.
Yep, indeed. Of course, this is the first Indy 500 to have the aero screen as well. The last 3 seasons, we didn't actually have the aero screen on the car, so just thought I'd point that one out.
Some technical evolution happens every time, and yeah, Campana might be gunning for the lead, and let's see if the American crowd will cheer. Neller seems to be going high into 1 meanwhile, but he is holding on to third.
Looks like the top 2 are maybe starting to break away a bit from Neller. They might be starting to form it a bit on their own at the moment, but we will see.
Yeah, just a bit. It's still early in the race, though, so I might not be saying much. In any case, Campana is hot on his trail, on Motrin's trail. Motrin's compatriot, Benz Vallinger, is right behind Neller, and Maxim Titkov is there too.
Indeed so, as now they come out of the final turn now then. And let's see if there's going to be any changes in the top 10. Meanwhile, we're looking further down the field at the moment, as there doesn't seem to be too much movement going on. Everybody's trying to stay single file for the meantime as we look at the rest of the order. So far, the person bringing the rear of the pack at the moment, as we're going to see very, very soon.
It is Joseph Frederick Suto, the man who finished 4th last time out. He's dropped off a little bit of pace, as now Lin Campana is pressuring Motrin. Can he be the first non-Hungarian to lead today?
We'll see, of course, as there's still a bit of a gap between the pair of them at this point in time.
You were saying earlier, Joe, these two are starting to pull away. But it looks like Will Neller decided to get a little closer to them, and he's doing quite well. He's pulled a little bit of a gap between himself and Vallinger.
Yep, he's leaving Valdinger to battle with Titkov, but it looks like it's also bringing along Daniel Adventure as well. He's also bringing the Carling along of Thomas Pascal.
Yes, indeed so. Let's see if Campana can keep gaining. Aurora Motrin. Looks like an overtake here. Lopez gunning for the move on Roque. No, not Roque. Not Roque. Roque is trying to get involved there as well. Let's see if he can pull the move.
It was Cressy got by there. Just want to point that out. Yes,
my bad. And Roque has gone past Cress as well now. Let's see if Cress might lose another place, because here comes that blue car of Rafael Dummel.
Will Dummel get through, or will Cress hang on for another? It looks like Dummel might actually get him into the first corner here, so it looks like Cress at the moment is starting to fall backwards a little bit in the back.
Cress is not fighting him too hard. He could lose yet another position. We'll see what's going to happen. Now then, we have a lead. Is that a lead change?
Yes, Campana's in the lead.
Yes, Campana lead.
Yeah, he's taken the lead. Motrin has dropped to third. Could be fourth because his compatriot Benz Vallinger is attacking. He's got him by going low. Ooh, quite close to touching there. Let's see if Titkov can get him as well. Into turn 4, Mochin's gone unusually high. Adventure will sneak in there as well. If you lose the lead, you lose a few places. Lin Campana leads once again to the light of the Indianapolis crowd.
Indeed, as now Valding is going to get underneath Nella now. Is this going to be P2 for the Hungarian? It is indeed.
Yes, it
Will
is.
Titkov follow through? Titkov is also going to follow through.
Yeah, one thing you don't want to happen, you don't want to be caught going high in the corner. If you're overtaken, it's best that you're overtaken in straight lines, or as the Americans say, in the straightaways. Because if you're going high, you're vulnerable to losing a large number of places, as Neller is feeling right now. He's going to be overtaken. Pascual, yes, he's been overtaken.
Now it's Nella's turn to start dropping backwards. Mochin is still going backwards at the moment because he's still stuck on that outside line at the moment.
Looks like Ben Svallinger is eager to retake the lead, but watch for Maxim Titkov behind. He went quite aggressive on the inside. As we've reached 1/10 of the race, 10% is completed.
As now coming out of turn 2 we go, as some side-by-side in the background. Looks like Mochin is now having to deal with his other Chip Ganassi teammate, that being Jay McKenzie, whilst his other Chip Ganassi teammate is fighting at the front, and will Titkov get underneath Valdinger? He's going to have a go.
Certainly going for it. Let's see if the Russian can grab that place, and yes, he can. By the way, we were told from the test race data we'll be expecting pit stops round about at roughly around lap 40. Let's see if Adventure can get involved in this fight with Titkov. He's going to gun for the inside here. Pascual, meanwhile, is up into 4th place. Adventure's taken 2nd, and Titkov has been caught high. Let's see if he'll lose any further places. Pascual has been kept behind. Valdiger has been caught high, though.
Nell is now trying to have a go at him, as now Adventure looks like he wants to have his turn to take the lead at the front, as he's now on the back of Campana. You did say as well, lap 40 is when we should expect the first pit stops. Well, that's if we don't have a pace car, of course. Let's just bear that one in mind.
And speaking of pace cars, we've been told they should last shorter than before. Yeah, so probably 2 laps or so is what we were informed.
Indeed so, as Lopez is currently holding off. I think that is Mocho, because that is.
It is Mocho, but Mocho is doing quite well on the outside. That's a car in the pit. It's Alexander Arnold.
It is.
Is that a mechanical failure? Is that
Arnold.
a scheduled stop? Is that a scheduled stop, or is that mechanical? I'm not 100% sure on that.
I don't know either, but we will check the replay. And let's see what's happened to Alexander Arnold.
Is this scheduled, or is this a... Oh, it looks like it was not scheduled. Let's have a look. Is this a scheduled stop or not?
Did he pick up any damage, perhaps? I doubt it.
Yeah. Anything happened to him?
Okay.
So it's strategy then. Quite unusual strategy for Alexander Arnold. But this is officially the first ever strategy stop in the OC, because every single stop we had so far in the past 3 seasons has been due to cautions. So yeah, there's that. I'm not counting the 2018 race for the record. 2017,
now falling back. Titkov's now falling back now because we've got Pascal in 2nd place.
Yeah. Griffiths, meanwhile, is up in the 5th place. The man who came so close to winning the first 500. Maybe he can finally make amends this time. He's going for the inside of Valdinger. He's got him up into 3rd. Goes to number 3.
Indeed, Titkov's starting to drop back now. Now he's going to try and get after Pascal, who wants his turn to take the lead. Lincoln Pona holding on to the lead for quite a while so far.
We've only had 2 lead changes so far in this race, from Valdinger to Mochin and from Mochin to Campana. Is lead change number 3 going to come up soon? And who's going to take it? Is it going to be Pascual, or is it Griffiths, or maybe someone else entirely?
We'll see, of course, as they now make their way down the straight. Looks like Campana's going to continue leading for a bit of a while, because there's a bit of a gap between himself and Pascal at the moment. Maybe Pascal's just hanging back for the meantime.
He's going high, that's interesting. Maybe trying to preserve some more speed. And Griffith is definitely very close. But Pascal in the slipstream is staying close to Campana, so the Californian won't be able to pull away too much.
No, indeed, as Griffiths is tagging onto the slipstream of Pascal at this point in time. As in fact, Pascal is starting to leave him behind going into that corner, in fact, so that didn't last too long.
Meanwhile, Roque has just made a move. He's getting out of position there, to the detriment of, I believe that was Rafael Dummel. In any case, Griffiths is still in 3rd place, pressuring Pascal. He's going to have a little look in towards the first corner. He is having a little look, and I think it could be a successful one. It is. Pascal's been caught high.
Yeah.
Will he lose another place to Waldinger? Looks like he will.
Well, indeed. Remember, of course, a few seasons ago, Jamie Griffiths was in that fight for the lead with Adam Wolf in 2017 and only just missed out, so maybe looking for redemption today.
Yeah, indeed. Griffiths led the majority of that race before being caught in the dying stages and passed by Wolf so close to the end. Wolf was able to hold on and take the victory. Now Griffiths is gunning for the lead once again.
It looks like he wants to be the third new leader of this race. Will he try and go underneath Campana? Is he going to stick behind? He's going to go underneath him. He might take the lead in. Nope.
It was extremely close to the back of him heading into the first corner. I think that's cost him a few mph. And he was definitely not able to make that move there. And I think with this amount of slipstream, he won't be able to make the move for the rest of this lap.
As they now make their way towards the last two turns, we're about 13 laps away from when we could expect the first pit stops happen, excluding Alexander Arnold, of course.
Well, judging by how early he pitted, we could see pit stops at any time. But in any case, yeah. 30 laps away from what should be the window. In any case, you have Griffiths gunning for the lead once again into turn one, staying low.
Yep. As they now make their way through turn two at the moment. So far, if anybody's just joined, we haven't had a pace car yet, surprisingly enough. I think we've gone a lot further than what we did last season, of course, when it came to a pace car, so I guess that's a positive.
Yeah, definitely.
Indeed.
We've got some more racing here.
Last season was
Cupok has
step
just
two.
made up a place. Here goes Daniel Fraser for the move for 20th. He's got it.
That was for 21st, actually, if I'm not mistaken, but as
In any case, Campana holding on to the lead for now. Griffiths has dropped back just a little bit. In fact, Benz Waldinger is eager to retake that P1 spot, but first he's going to need to clear Griffiths.
Indeed, as through turn two we go now then, as Griffiths obviously still yet to take the lead at the moment. Maybe he's thinking tactically here of when he should do it. But you can see there at the moment, obviously the person that's a lap down, of course, is Alexander Arnold, because of course he did make that very early pit stop on lap 22 a few laps ago.
Indeed, we'll see what that strategy will entail for him, and if it's going to pay off or not. But in any case, Griffiths can't seem to be able to get close enough. Campana is doing a great job defensively at the moment.
Indeed so, as meanwhile Graf's still holding on to the fastest lap at the moment, so far doing a good job at this point.
Meanwhile, we're on board with Joseph Soto, who appears to be struggling a bit.
Yep, he's obviously at the back of the field and losing touch of the train. In fact, he's going to be soon lapped if he's not careful.
Well, right about now he's going to get lapped, I'm saying, and looks like Campana might have a little bit of a headache to deal with, as Griffiths is going to try to seize the opportunity and take advantage. When will Campana clear Joseph Soto? That is the question, and the answer is probably going to be now towards turn one. Let's see.
No, in fact, he's going to hand back for the man. I think he's going to give him a little. He's going to try and get a bit of toe if he can to try and see if he can get away a little bit from Jamie.
That's a very risky play, but can be a rewarding one if he can make it work. And right now, not quite. He's going to have to make it on this straight, and I doubt he's close enough. Either way, Joseph Soto has had terrible pace so far. It's lap 31, and he's already getting lapped, so there might be a problem with his car, but in any case, didn't think it was necessary to pit, and he's going to get lapped soon.
Let's see if Campana will lap him this time by, as he's going quickly to the left this time, and I think he's going to lap him this time.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get any flashbacks of 2019. Griffith's going following through very quickly, though. He's lapped him almost immediately, so has Waldinger.
Yep, so it seems that
so in the end,
are gonna...
Yeah, so in the end, Joseph Soto didn't really influence the fight for the lead at the moment, but he will be a pain for the other guys to try to lap.
Griffiths is now onto the back of Campana. Will we see a lead change very soon? As meantime, going underneath Pascal, I'm not sure who that is. It's Adam Wolf.
Adam Wolf, the first ever winner, is in P6 right now, I believe.
It does look like he is, yes, I think he is. So P6 so far for the 2017 winner, as Titkov is now trying to get underneath Pascal.
Meanwhile, Soto is getting lapped by Lopez.
While Mocho underneath, trying to think who that was. There's some more overtakes going on. That's Mocho getting by on Clark, and Lopez is also going to do the same as well, as Pascal is also being overtaken there by Titkov, I believe that was.
Yes, indeed, so Joe. Meanwhile, look at this. Griffiths is going for it. Into turn 3. Car number 3 can get it.
Still hanging back for the moment. Campana still holding on to that lead as we start lap 34 of 200 very, very soon as we ride in the cockpit, well, briefly there, of Jamie Griffiths.
He's been tentative with his moves. He never really made major commitment to the attack, but I think he's gonna go for it shortly.
As we go through all the cameras that we have here around the speedway.
Take a look at that. Some good racing further back. As now Griffiths is getting great drive, great run at Lin Campana. Is this gonna be the move?
I don't think so. I think he's leaving it a bit too late if that's the case. Nope, it isn't.
Campana doing some very good defensive work to keep him behind.
As we ride back on board with Griffiths, and I don't think he's close enough again. I think he's going to hold back for the moment. As we are getting close to when the mandatory pit stop's about to happen. I think in around 5 laps' time.
Yeah, indeed so. Meanwhile, I think Griffiths could try something into 2 if he stays close enough, but I don't think so. He's gonna have to again use the slipstream on this straight again. We'll see. Meanwhile, Duhamel is racing right here with, I believe that is Michael Clark. It is. McClark can go for the overtake. Meanwhile, Michael Mocho is being overtaken by George Roque. The two Brits racing each other, and Roque has the edge into 4.
Does indeed, as they all make their way down the straight to start lap 36 of 200 here. That's Duhamel getting underneath Mocho this time by.
Yeah, indeed so. Another overtake there.
I think that is. I think that's
it's on the
McLaren. If I'm not mistaken. Not McLaren. That's a Wicks car. That's not McLaren.
Oh, it is.
I think that's
Anderson. It is Anderson. You were right from the get-go, Joe.
That's a Wicks car. McLaren have 57 and 66 as their numbers. So.
Right, gotcha. In any case, let's see if Griffiths is any closer. Not quite. Looks like it's around about the same.
Yeah, it seems that Campana's just keeping it tidy for the moment. We're just keeping it consistent at this point in time. As Griffiths again trying to look underneath, but nope, thinking better of it. Probably just a little bit too far back.
Yeah, indeed. I think he's been spending a lot of time now behind him. He's just being meticulous and planning his move. I'm sure he hasn't made any major attacks for that specific reason, and we'll be waiting for that attack to come. But he also needs to worry about defense because Ben Wallinger is quite close.
Indeed so, as making our way around the final turn. Now heading our way onto the straight. Will Nella, in fact, behind because he's right in the gearbox of Waldinger. Will he think about maybe trying to pass him into turn 1? As meantime, Griffiths again doing the same thing as we've seen earlier, just thinking about it but not committing to it.
No, definitely not. And don't forget the pit stop stages, regardless if it's a caution or not, they can change the field massively since everyone's so close to begin with.
Indeed so, as Martinez, as we've got a little group going on down at the back of the field, as they're all lapping at Arnold right now, who of course made that early pit stop, as you may remember. It'd be very interesting to see what his strategy is a little bit later on in the race.
Wallinger's heading in.
His adventure.
A lot of people actually
you crash. Oh, crash!
Oh,
yeah, Mocho's been involved. Just as the pit stop stage is stuck, got a crash.
That's going to be a pace car, that is for certain. And
absolutely.
Anderson and Mocho. And who was that other one?
Look at this car hopping.
Just like in DTM a few days ago, Anderson's car is bouncing around the track. And he is projected to be our first retirement of the day.
But luckily for him, he's not in an area where he's going to get collected, I don't think. So he should be okay.
Has the caution been officially deployed yet?
I believe so. We just need to... Yes, you can see it there. Look, you can see the yellows on the top right. You can see it on the top right. Look.
Yeah.
Caution number 1.
Well, we got the caution and a bunch of people have pitted, so I wonder what this will mean.
Yeah, so in the case of... I think it's fair to say for Waldinger and Adventure, perfect timing, because the guys in front of them didn't pit.
Yeah, indeed. Could be a great advantage. But that will be nullified.
Oh.
Let's see again. Clark just ran into him.
And the one who also went sliding there was Jordan Howe. Howe was very lucky not to get major damage from that, but not ideal that he got collected in that.
Let's see Clark's POV again from different on board. And yeah,
He just bumped Anderson out of the way.
Anderson
You
was
see
just
this.
hanging onto his line, maybe closing it a little bit, but now he went high. And yeah, Clark just, I think that was a little careless from Michael Clark, not gonna lie.
I think what it was, I think I did see the car slightly better. I think he was trying to avoid the guys that were on the left that were coming into the pits there, because they obviously have to go a little bit slower to veer to the left a little bit. So
That might have been it. I wonder if
Yeah.
Anderson was also thinking of pitting perhaps, which is why he swerved a little to the left initially, but I don't know.
who knows really. But either way, we've got our first pace car of the day, and we've got a little bit further into the race than what we did last season.
Yeah, indeed. And
just a
some
little bit.
people came in for their scheduled stuff, but yeah, 3 cars involved in this mess, and thankfully none of them are out, though Julius Anderson, I think, won't be too happy about this.
Wouldn't be surprised if Endham's got damage. Mocho's into the pits though, so that
Indeed.
really is a lot of smoking tyres on the exit of the pit lane there. But let's have a look. So we've got Demel who's at the front of the field.
I
It says
don't
P2
believe
on-
he has stopped.
No, I don't think he has either. So
Alexander Arnold pits for a second time, by the way.
yep, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that with Arnold really, because he is a lap down. So the pace car has not really come at the right time for him, if that's the case.
So I guess Alexander Arnold might spend the entire race a lap down, unless another pace car changes things, but I'm not sure.
I'm trying to think if they're coming in this lap. Okay, that's a very
Oh,
quick pit
yeah,
stop.
very quick.
Pit stop, very quick pace car lap.
Yeah,
So we've got
absolutely. And
Demel-
Dumel, even though I doubt he's pitted, is going to lead with Marca for Liverpool second, and Roland Mochin will be back in the leader race. Absolutely.
But let's see. Will anybody veer to the left? Car's going to veer to the left, so I think he's going to come into the pits. I think he might
Well-
come into the pits.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
I
for
think
Clark.
Dumel is yet to pit as well, but this guy isn't. Roland Mochin will inherit the lead.
I think has Roland been in? I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, we're back underway.
Yes, indeed so. And Rafael Dumel is the new leader of this race, but for how long will it last? As Joseph Soto is a lap down, so don't mind him. He is in P40, not P3. Matej Sturvik is in third, with Florian Volker fourth. Quite a shake-up for the pack.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if Demel maybe pitted whilst we were looking at the replay.
I can see Griffiths up in 7th, so his last couple of places. Campana is in P6, as Turvik is trying to clear Joseph Soto. The Pole and the Slovak are racing each other, and Dumel is pitting. He's coming in. Mochin is going to take the lead.
So Demel is in, so he didn't pit. So Motrin is leading the race from the number 4, I believe that is, or is that no? That's Suto who's a lap down, isn't he? So it's in
Yeah,
fact the number
Turvik almost
55,
colliding with him. And
So
the
number
people
55
pitted, yeah, it is Matej
so
Turvik in
Turvik
second.
P2.
Volker's up to
Volker's in
third.
P3.
Yeah, the
Now,
guys who
isn't
pitted
it-
early have made a great decision, and the guys who pitted right when the safety car came. The guys who haven't, I've made a terrible mistake. Lopez, Ka, Dumel, they've lost touch to the leading group now.
I will point out this though. Florian Volker is a free. I think he's a 3-time Monaco Grand Prix winner, if I'm not mistaken. We've never had a Monaco Grand Prix winner win the Indy 500. So That one
No,
can win.
Adam Wolf did finish second in Monaco and won the 500, but he never won Monaco. And the Florian Volker, if he can make it work, though I'm not sure if he's pitted yet or not. That could be interesting. In any case, Jamie Griffiths has definitely pitted. He's jungling Campana, and he didn't get him on track per se, but he did get him eventually.
Volker, they're having a little battle here with the number 66 of Tobias Kress. So the two Germans fighting for second place at the moment. There's now Jamie Griffiths getting underneath to get into what will be third place. He's already gained 2 places on this lap.
Well, Griffiths came through quite quickly, and it might be a case of him and Mochin fighting again. As soon as he can clear Volker. If he can clear Volker, that is. Which he can.
And now we've got a Chip Ganassi and a Penske fighting at the front. The old good rivalry in IndyCar.
Yeah, indeed. If Volker's losing a lot of places. If he hasn't pitted, it might be a case of worn tires. As Armar Ka, who pitted right when the safety car ended, is in a world of pain because he's going to get lapped.
Oh, dude. As Volker's now dropped to 5th now, in fact, as I believe that is that the graph remover in 4th, or is that another red car?
The graph
Isn't
review
it
was
Torvik?
26th.
So who's the one in P4?
In any case,
then?
Griffiths is going for the
Turvik.
lead, almost touching Roland Mochin there. That was quite close. These guys are going to come up to Armar Ka soon enough. Turvik is into fourth meanwhile. And Volker doesn't appear to be pitting. I think he might have already come in, but I'm not sure. In any case, Ka will impede these guys a little bit.
You got involved in a collision, Jordan, which caused the pace car. You're still in the race though, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, nobody has retired in this race so far. Actually, do have a retirement. Is it
you're saying-
24?
Number 24, that's Julius Anderson. That's Julius Anderson who's out.
Okay, Anderson is
Yeah.
out, but apart from him, nobody else has retired. As Roland Mochin will now be trying to lap Armar Ka, Jimmy Griffiths will follow through as well. And Mochin's gone through. Ka could have been in a shout with these guys, but he's pitted at the worst time of all. And now he's a lap down, the Liverpool driver.
During that accident, then Anderson clearly had too much damage, whereas Mocho and Howe were very, very lucky indeed. As now Griffiths is going to go for the lead.
He wasn't able to pass Campana on track, but now he's passed
He
Mochin.
takes the
He's the
lead.
new leader of this race. Watch for Crest behind. He's going to get Mochin as well. Mochin's been caught high. And Turvik is going to try to squeeze in there too. Kai is still getting left, meanwhile, by the others.
Yep, as now Cress will he get into P2. The 2015 Formula E champion is through.
Yes, indeed so. Meanwhile, Kai is being quite stubborn. Doesn't want to let Turvik lap him, but Turvik has lapped him. Turvik is getting onto the back of Roland Mochin in the meantime.
Indeed so, as Cress now then will try and see if he can try and grab the lead from Griffiths. Maybe he wants a turn at the front.
Absolutely. We're going to see quite a lot of leaders in the 500. It's not like the OC races where one or two guys lead the whole thing. It's quite different here. And Tobias Kress could be next leader of this race if he can make his way past Jamie Griffiths.
It was David Cupot, Jamie, who predicted Julius would win, so he's basically put a jinx on him.
Look at this. Watching has almost
Yeah,
tapped
indeed.
Kress there, running very close to him. But now he's got him into two.
And now Turwick has joined in.
Indeed so. Will he be able to clear Kress? I don't think so. Kress is still very close to back of Roland Mochin. This is helping Griffiths get away just a little bit from these guys.
Yeah, indeed. And an interesting fact, I believe 3 of the 4 German entries are currently in the top 6 right now. So very impressive stuff.
Looks like Armar Ka is trying to unlap himself from Mateusz Turvik there.
Obviously, Carl wants to try and get back on the lead lap as quick as possible, given how much of a mess up that strategy call came when the pace car came out.
Yeah, indeed. Ka quite desperate to get back on the lead lap and hope for another pace car to neutralize that gap so he can get back in this race as we're nearing the 1 quarter mark of this race.
Yep, next lap we would have passed 1 quarter.
Now then, Kress going at it. Let's see if he can get past Mochin. Into 3, he's got the inside for 4. Surely we'll be able to get him. And yes, Mochin is being caught high. Could give Turvik an opportunity to squeeze through. And they're going to be side by side, these two. Who's going to get the draft from Kress in front? It looks like it is Mochin, so Mochin can defend.
Now we are at the quarter mile mark.
Yeah, indeed.
Quarter of 500 miles, I should say.
So that's 125 miles. As Armar Ka is getting lapped by a few more people there. Let's see if Kress, who's back in second, can have a run at first.
We now make our way towards the final 2 turns. Looks like the top 3 are going to stay single file for the moment. Turwick just a little bit too far back from these 3 at the moment, but we'll try his best. As meantime, Graf has got by on Florian Volker, so he's now into the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what Kress can do here. Griffiths hasn't been attacking a lot in this race, but now is the first time when he's going to defend.
And a reminder as well to anybody who is new to the 500 this season, if you finish in the top 5, then you're automatically granted entry into next season's Indy 500, provided you sign up, of course.
Indeed so. Meanwhile, I believe Titkov has just overtaken Dennis Graf.
Yeah, he did.
Looks like Armar Ka is getting lapped by Will Nair in the meantime.
As it looks like Volker's just going further backwards down the field now then.
Watching as we're overtaking Kress, take a look. And Turvik is going to try to get him as well.
As look at this, poor Campana.
Oh my goodness, something might have
Oh,
gone wrong with the strategy. He's about to be lapped by Jamie Griffiths. The man who was chasing him for the race
He was
lead
leading.
is going to be chasing him to put a lap on him now.
Titkov getting underneath Turwick from leading the race, and now Griffiths getting behind him, but this time to try and lap him. He wants to dispose of him quickly, though, because he's got Motrin all over the backside of him.
Yes, indeed. Let's see if Griffiths can make it work, or if Campana will defend as ferociously as before. Remember, no blue flags in the 500. You gotta get the move on track.
Yeah, people are probably suspecting that Florian hasn't pitted yet, so I wonder if he's on a very long strategy, hence why he's
Could be,
up
but
here
Joe,
right
look,
now.
Durvik
Yeah,
has
same
lost
as
a number
for
of
Graf.
places. He's dropped into P8. Now could make him drop to P9.
Indeed so, as Griffiths is still stuck behind Campana at this point in time.
Yeah, Titkov is meanwhile back to 4th place, so a good charge back up through the field from Maxim Titkov. Could be materializing into something quite good, we'll see.
We will see, of course, as now through into the last 2 turns we will go.
And will Lin Campana, the man who was lapping people earlier in the race before the caution came out, will he be the one getting lapped now? And it looks like it's not just him, there's a heap of cars here involving including Mocha and Lopez. Mocha, of course, was involved in that collision.
And Lopez, of course, like with Carr, on a very terrible strategy. The worst time for the pace car to come out for both Mercedes drivers, it's fair to say.
Yeah, indeed.
As now
Campana
right
is also
behind him.
racing these guys, and the worst thing that could happen to you when you're leading the race is to catch 2 backmarkers who are fighting each other. In this instance, it ain't 2 backmarkers fighting each other; it's 4. Lapping these guys is going to be a huge pain.
Indeed so, and they're not that far behind Jordan Howell either, who was also involved in that 3-car pile-up that caused the pace car, as you can see from the tyre marks on the pit straight.
Yeah, indeed. And let's see if Griffiths is going to try anything. 212 on that last lap, he's really being held up, but he's gone past Campana, who's slowing down a lot actually. Does he have a problem?
I think he's got a problem. Campana has got a mechanical failure, and this is not good news for Lin Campana.
Oh no!
That'll be the end of the race for the Sahara driver. He's going to pull over shortly. I think it's something with the gearbox.
Yeah, it could
Either
be.
that or it's engine related, but that is such a shame for Lin Campana. He obviously finished in the top, I believe he finished in the top 5 last season.
Pulling
was
over.
Fighting at the front, got screwed over by strategy, and now his car has let him down.
Could
Indeed,
this be a caution, maybe?
Very good point you're making.
Could be. We'll have to keep an eye on the lights on the right-hand side to see if they change from green to amber, so we will see.
And what will this...
Okay,
Oh,
so,
you
they've
Yep.
been able to clear that one pretty safely then without the need of a pace car.
Looks like we're a 24-car group here, stretching all the way up to Summit Toscan in P24, of course.
And another guy, look, who was also near the front earlier on, Jay McKenzie. He's now down at the back.
Yeah, afraid so. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Griffiths, apart from Campana, who he lapped while he was slowing down, hasn't lapped anyone else yet. This lot. Looks like they've got on to Jordan Howell, by the way, Joe and Dennis.
I did mention this
It
earlier
looks
that
like.
this group was closing up to Jordan Howe, and now they have. So yet more traffic for the leaders to deal with.
Joe, since you're not in this race, if you are Jamie Griffiths in this position, what would you do?
It's a very tough one, really, because you could make the argument of staying behind, so then you'd end up getting a tow, and everybody's basically having the similar effect to what you'd have if you'd had DRS, which is basically a DRS train, or you'd try and clear this lot and try and get a gap between yourself and Roland Motrin.
Yeah, both could be enticing ideas, but don't forget, they're both extremely risky. If you don't want to overtake, you can be vulnerable to losing track position, and if you do overtake, you could lose yourself a lot of time, so both could backfire badly. I think Jamie Griffiths is in a tough spot right now, but he's experienced, and I'm sure he has made up a decision. We'll just wait and see what that decision turns out to be.
And we'll see, of course, but for the moment, he's sticking behind Jay McKenzie at this point in time.
Yeah, it's not hurting him for now, so no harm, no foul, I believe.
Indeed so. An interesting stat as well. Rosetta Martinez, who started in 42nd, he's up into the top 25, so he's made a lot of places in this race.
Who knows, maybe he could win. In any case, Jamie Griffiths is not lapping him just yet. 212 from Mochin, so these guys are being quite impeded.
Oh, really trying hard not to remind ourselves of Gabriel Gomez's win from 2018, aren't we?
I tweeted yesterday in the OC server,
Could be
drinking
shot.
every time we mention it, take a shot. And I hope we can take shots on non-alcoholic beverages at this point.
Well, I haven't got a
Yeah.
drink with me, so that rules me out.
I got water.
Yeah, same for me.
I mean, you can pretend that's
could
vodka.
grab a
if you
bit of
want to.
milk.
I mean, it's the same colour.
I guess so. In any case, Howell is holding on to his position.
He is at the moment. He's currently holding off Mocho at this point in time, and he'll be. If I were Jordan, I'd be praying for another pace car to try and get back up with the leaders, really, because at the moment
Absolutely.
he's technically not lapped.
Indeed so. If a caution were to come up right now, Howell would be able to get back onto these guys. Of course, it's all ifs and buts. As Alan Jefferson is losing a couple of places, Oskan is going through.
Indeed so. I've actually got a fridge full of Budweiser and Bud Light, Flo, but I'm not wanting to touch them just yet. Maybe after this race, when my throat is dry. So...
Adventure and Chao China are racing each other. Meanwhile, the reigning 500 champ down in 31st. Campana's getting back in the race.
Yeah.
This is obviously that we see in real life as well, of course. You may remember in real life when people break down, they can take it back into their garages and try and repair the car. And I think that's what's happened here with Lynn Campana. So he's got a pray, really. A lot of pace cars happen for him to get back in the race.
Indeed so. He'll be a good number of laps down as now Michael Mocha is losing places and it's about to be lapped by Jamie Griffiths.
Well, there he is.
Look where Campana is rejoining.
Right where this lot are, in fact. And he'll still be building up the speed, so they won't be far behind his gearbox.
Nope, indeed not. And meanwhile, I think Turvik is making a move behind.
Let's have a look. He might have been.
In any case, Mocha is losing some more positions. Titkov will get him as well. Griffiths continues to lead, but Mochin is hard on his tail. There's a car into the pits. Meanwhile, I believe that is Franco Gamba in the Camo Bull.
It is Franco Gamba. He's just come into the pits for a scheduled stop, so he's now a lap down from this lot. When was the second stops coming about, did Yuri say, Rob?
I have no idea.
Did he not say in the chat at all? Okay.
Right, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, understood.
So lap 75 to lap 80, we should see the next scheduled stops potentially happening on average. That's according to Yuri. So we're on lap 62, so in around 13 laps time, perhaps.
Yeah, indeed so. As now Griffiths has got a little bit of leeway from Roland Muchin, so he's not at threat right now. I wonder if he'll think about passing the next lapped car.
Probably, it's quite interesting, in fact, because Jay McKenzie's in a Chip Ganassi car, isn't he? And the guy behind Jamie Griffiths is also a Chip Ganassi. So could Jay try and help Roland here?
Perhaps so.
Maybe.
We'll see. I'm sure he's been getting instructions on team radio, but you always gotta be careful when the pack is this close. You don't want to make the wrong move.
Yeah, Anderson is out of the race flow. Initially, Campana was, but he's just come back onto the track with a repair.
Howell is letting a few people go. He's letting Lopez and the others through. Mackenzie and Mochin and Griffiths, they've all gone through. So as I believe that is Kress and Titkov now.
And Graf
is
as
also
well.
through as well.
Indeed so. Looks like these guys have pulled away a little bit from the secondary train.
And Griffiths is now going to get underneath Mackenzie, and he's going to dispose of him, and then he'll try and dispose of Lopez if he can.
Mackenzie is not impeding the other Chip Ganassi Mochin. Mochin has gone through.
Interesting tactics at Chip
Indeed,
Ganassi,
yes.
it's fair to say.
In any case, Griffiths is going for the move on Lopez.
Indeed,
He's put a lap on him.
he has done. Will Motrin easily follow through? He will indeed. And Mackenzie, will he get by on the guy who actually kicked him out of Mercedes all those seasons ago? He will indeed.
Well, and these guys are going to come up to Lynn Campana again soon.
Get rolling now. He's tucked up onto the back of Griffiths now as they are leaving Tobias Kress behind as a result.
Yeah, so it seems. Lopez, meanwhile, continuing to lose some track positions because they're not actually losing places to anybody. They're all a lap ahead of him already.
Absolutely, as it looks like Motrin's dropped back a little bit now from Griffiths at this point in time as we've got more battles going on behind.
Looks like the front seven are really pulling away from the rest of the lot. Look at that, it's a 6-second gap to number 55.
Yeah, indeed.
Yep. Making their way down the straight now then, as Griffiths will try and put a lap on Campana again. As,
Well,
How many
one
laps
third
is
of this
Campana
race
off, by the
now.
way?
as we're looking around, and the number
There's another
45
retirement.
is out of the race. Yeah, the
5
number
laps.
45 is out of the race. That is... Who is the number 45? That's Jake Galloway. Jake Galloway.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we have a header problem.
So we've got another retirement in the form of Jake Galloway. So we've got 2
Campana is
retirements.
now 6 laps down.
As Mackenzie gets underneath Campana there, so he's gained another place out of that.
Not really, because, he was multiple laps down, Campana.
True, but I guess in terms of track position, he's gained
Yeah,
a bit
fair
on that.
enough, fair enough. And Chris is going through as well, so will Lopez.
Yep, so I think all these guys are going to get through on Campana, to be honest with you. Campana's race is just a disaster. He's praying
Meanwhile,
for
these
a
guys
mass
are
amount of
pulling
pace
further
cars.
away from the second group. The gap is now almost 9 seconds.
Indeed, is Cress getting underneath Mackenzie, and
He's got
so he
him.
gets...
Lopez is going back at Mackenzie in the meantime, but you have to look at Roland Mutchen, because he is attacking Jamie Griffiths here, look.
Yep, as Griffiths again starting to build a bit of a buffer on Motrin at the moment, but it looks like Cress may want to have a go at Motrin again.
The gap to P8 has gone up to 11 seconds. What the heck is up? These guys' pace.
Might be because they're getting stuck in this traffic, perhaps.
So
Yeah,
it seems
especially
it
behind
is
Howell.
Barton Howell
Not so.
impeding them.
I think it might be Howell, in fact, because I did wonder, because he
Yeah.
did drop back very suddenly. Has he got a little bit of a problem that Franco Gamba had? Was it last season or a couple of seasons ago where he was
Last
dropping
season
like
it
a
was.
stone? Yeah, he was dropping like a stone last season, you might remember.
That
Yeah,
is
indeed.
true. So that's why they're
Indeed,
losing
so.
so much time.
Train.
Look at this. Wolf is being overtaken in the meantime.
Motrin's
As,
being swarmed here.
Yeah,
Motrin's
Lopez
being
and
swarmed.
Oh, yeah.
Titkov are making their way through, and Graf might as well. Kress is back in
Uh-huh.
second place. He'll try to Frank Griffiths.
So there are no blue flag rules in the Indy 500, so all of this is legal.
Indeed so. Lopez is going to try to unlap himself as Mochin trying to hang around the outside of Titkov, but the going low is always superior as Graf just proves by swooping into fourth place.
As meantime now, in fact, because of Motrin being swarmed, it's now allowed Crest to get up into second place, and now Crest
As
finds
Spirinan is going to
himself
get into fifth. Meanwhile, if you can get Mochin here, which you can.
Crest now on the back of Jamie Griffiths, and maybe he wants to turn at the front of the field.
These guys are now 15 seconds in front of P8, so Mochin and Hal impeding them a major amount.
Will the McLaren get ahead of the Penske? That is the question.
He's definitely going to try, I'm telling you that much.
Kind of, if I was being a bit of a biased one, I'd look at McLaren because, of course, my AI is driving for McLaren in the top class. So I'll keep my
18 seconds. These guys are losing about 3 seconds a lap. That's insane. As Lopez is still trying to unlap himself there.
does, of course, have, I would suspect, fresher tyres compared to these two, because, of course, he did pit a little later on, so maybe that could be a factor as to why he's getting by on the leaders.
Could be indeed. In any case, Chris might try to go for it now.
As though we're coming up to last season's winner, in fact, from Shannon Keoshane, not ideally the race he wanted today.
No, definitely not, but it's still far from over. As Bernian clears Graf to move up into, I believe, 4th place.
Yep,
P4
indeed.
for Jesus
P4
Perrin, the
for Kevin.
2019 BTCC champion, up into P4. And,
Meanwhile, I wish the second group had just cleared the back markers, because look how much time they're losing. They're half lap down now.
I will say, if Perrin ends up winning this race, you won't be hearing the end of it, I'm pretty sure.
Probably so. But don't forget, if another caution happens, the secondary group will be right back up to these guys.
Sorry if you can hear me dogs in the background.
It's alright.
Wolf.
Anyway,
Meanwhile, China is getting lapped.
yep, as they now make their way out of turn 2 now then. And so as they now make their way down the straight, as Keoshane continuing to getting lapped at this point in time, as Turek is still stuck behind Howell at the moment, but they have cleared Mocho, these three have.
Yeah, indeed, and I think it's frustrating for these lot.
As
Yeah.
meanwhile, Motrin getting
Is
himself involved with Graf at the moment.
Wolf is also trying to take advantage there.
Is indeed, as they make their way through into the first. Is this the first turn or the second turn? I'm not
It is the
sure.
first turn.
First,
Turn. As now
Lopez
Press
unlapped
is being
himself.
unlocked. Yep.
Ditko is gonna swoop through as well, I think. He's gonna have the inside and the toe.
Oh, Perinen, in fact, because Perinen is. He tried to have a go. Titkov on the inside now of Kress, and that's P2 for the Russian.
He's got him. Cresso's got high. Now then, Griffiths has a lapped car between himself and everyone else. How will he use Franco Lopez? Will he keep him behind? Or will he let him by and try to use him for toe?
We will see, of course, as now they make their way towards.
Lopez goes very high.
Does indeed, but Titkov didn't take advantage of that, which is surprising. Maybe he's waiting for Lopez to see if he can unlap himself on Griffiths and maybe pounce on him then.
Probably so. In any case, Griffiths getting just a little bit of an advantage.
To the final two turns we go, as nearly a bit of a tap there between Titkov and Lopez.
No love lost, I guess. But in any case, Titkov is staring tight right now. I don't think he wants to make any decisive moves. But Pernian could be trying to make one as he attempts to clear Tobias Kress to get himself into third place. Let's see if he can do it in towards turn one.
Thought about it, but Kress is going to hold on for the moment, probably just tugging onto the slipstream of Titkov at the moment.
Meanwhile, the second group is 26 seconds down. They're going to end up lapped soon enough as it's at this rate.
They'll probably be begging for a pace car if that's the case, because Turwick is really being affected by Howell in front.
Yeah, indeed. So, and don't forget, the second round of stops should come up soon, so that could change things a little.
Should do indeed, but we'll wait and see if anybody peels to the left in this group.
28.
What
Oh, we've got somebody in. That's
Adventure
Daniel
coming in.
Adventure. That's Daniel Adventure who's in the pits, as is Jordan Howell, so Turwick has now been cleared from him.
Yeah, indeed. Looks like Turvik and Neller are pulling away from these guys as well. But I think
But
everyone in this group is hoping for a pace car.
They are indeed, especially Gamba, who also pitted a little bit earlier, because these guys are not that far from them.
No, definitely not. And Franco Lopez is still very eager to unlap himself. He's getting Titkov here. Titkov could lose a few more places if he's not careful. Kress is very eager to pounce on the Russian and going very low into turn 4. He's actually
He's going in, as is Griffiths
as well. So Lopez
Top
is now
two
in the lead lap. Very close run there between Kress and Graf coming into the pits. Volker's also in. You can see him.
So his long stint appears to be over for Volker. He's now in the pits.
Or he might
So
have pitted
now
already and unseen by the cameras.
And
Yeah,
people
that's
who are pitting
the
right
case.
now are probably begging that there won't be
Maybe.
another pace car, like we saw earlier.
I guess so. Then again, commentator's curse can be quite strong. As Jesus Pernian is currently the race leader, actually, I believe. No, Maxim
Titkov
Titkov
is.
is the race leader. Titkov hasn't pitted yet. Will he pit this lap? No, but Pernian will.
Pernin's in. There's a few
Not
more
just
cars
him.
are in there.
A whole bunch of
There
other
goes
people
it.
there.
Roland Motrin's just coming to the pitch. You can see in the background. Wolf is in.
Alexander Arnold is in for the third time.
Nesco in as well. You can see from the Bozet Dacia car in front, or Dacia as it's pronounced in Romania.
Yes.
As Carr and Nella are currently out on the racetrack. I think, have they pitted? I'm not sure. But anyway, who is leading the race now? Well, it's still Titkov, isn't it? Because Titkov didn't come in.
Yeah, it was Pernian who came
yeah.
in. Meanwhile,
There's
look
a
at
few
this
more
up close
cars going.
racing on the pit lane entry.
Gomez is in the pits as Garma gets underneath Mocho there.
Adventure is going to try to get him.
Is Titkov in now or not? That's the question. I want to look for the number 10 car. We're going to look for.
Meanwhile, Lopez is now into a provisional 6th place, but he will have to pit a course.
Yep. Where is Titkov? Has he gone in yet, or is he still out on the track? We've got to look for the number 10 Chip Ganassi somewhere on the track.
I believe he is yet to pit, but I'm not sure.
That
Where
doesn't
is he?
update the timing graphic until
Where
we
is he?
cross the line, of course. He's not
He's
in.
in.
Yet. No, he
Yes,
is in.
Titkov.
He's in. Well,
He's in.
Clark is in as well. Clark is in.
He's in
So
on lap
there's
80 at this race. Got some racing into
So,
turn 1 meanwhile.
a few there as well. It's Adventure getting blocked off by Suto at this point. He's also got Martinez behind him.
Yes, indeed so. Let's see how things are going to change here. As UNESCO is trying to defend position there, I believe, from
That's
Kress, who's
Cress who's
lapping
trying to
him.
lap. As he's also got Graf behind as well. Those two coming in, I think, at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so as well. That is Alan Jefferson, meanwhile, slowing... No, getting up to speed, sorry.
I think he's just getting up to speed because he did come into the pits.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
He's getting way faster than before now.
Well, let's wait for the positions to update themselves.
And just give me a moment.
Griffiths is the race leader.
Kress is second, I think, and Graf is third.
Yeah. Meanwhile, UNESCO
Graf
is falling
coming
lap
from
down behind Griffiths.
P30.
But
Third.
Griffiths is stuck in a long chain of cars as Lopez has just pitted.
Griffiths is in the lead then. We've got Cress in second. Graf is in the top 3 now, in fact. So Graf is actually on the podium at the moment.
Yes, indeed. Adventure, meanwhile, is trying to make up a place here.
So Titkov, it's fair to say, has lost 2 places from the pit stops.
So it seems, yeah.
As Howe continuing to get lapped by these guys.
He's definitely been struggling after that collision. Maybe some damage. Long-lasting, perhaps.
Knows really, but
All these content damages.
Absolutely, Dennis. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
As Griffiths currently in this traffic right now, as Graf trying to lap Mocho there, as he's trying everything he can to get on the back of his fellow compatriot, Tobias Kress.
Kress is up into second place, but he's got a lapped car between himself and Griffiths, who is the race leader, of course.
Absolutely, as Valdinger, who was near the front, let's not forget, a little bit earlier on, well, now nowhere.
Well, yeah, the pit stops can shake the field up quite massively.
Terwick, meanwhile, is down in 10th now. He was in 7th at one point, or 8th, but now he's down in 10th.
Yeah, that is true.
Otran currently battling with Perinen right now, is holding on to that top 5 place.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, Mackenzie is trying to unlap himself from Adam Wolf. And now take a look at this. Armarka holding up a few guys.
Indeed, that is Will Nello. In fact, he's on the back of Daniel Fraser at this point in time. And Fraser, in fact, that's actually a battle for PA. That's a legit fight going on, as Terwick is currently trying to hold off from Florian Volker, as he's trying to hold on to that top 10 place.
Yeah, so it appears. Meanwhile, Will Parrish is keeping Franco Gamba behind him.
As that was Adventure just getting underneath somebody there. As here is Jamie Griffiths, the current race leader right now.
He's just lapped Jordan Howell.
Now he's trying to lap the car in front, in fact.
How quite close to Graf there.
Yeah,
As
that's
now just
Peacock
Soto is in this traffic as well.
As now we start lap 85 of the race, so 15 laps away from the halfway point.
Yes, indeed so, Joe. Looks like UNESCO is trying to unlap himself from Jamie Griffiths there.
Yep, as now coming out of the turn, as he's still got car separating him at the moment. So far, all things very good at the moment for Griffiths, as he's got a car separated between himself and Crest. That car being, of course, Robert Ionescu.
Yeah, indeed. Valdiger tried to go for the move there, but he couldn't quite pull it off on Gabriel Rico. In fact, he's lost a little bit of ground, as Rico is trying to make this move work.
As Valdinger tries to get underneath Rico at this point in time into the first turn.
I think he could get him. Yeah, totally.
He does. Valdinger through in the Team Penske Classic.
Indeed so.
Suto gets underneath the AJ Foyt car there. And in fact, I realise that Suto is also an AJ Foyt car, isn't he? It's just a different livery, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I guess so. Look at this, almost 3 wide as Kupok makes his way through. Griffiths and Ionescu are coming through as well. They can try lap Suto.
Yep, as Griffiths
or in
gets
Ionescu's
underneath
case, pass Suto for position.
Be for P25 if we can get by him. Oh no, in fact it won't be. In fact it says P23 on Rico's dashboard, so...
I think so.
Oh, will it? I think the dash is obviously still trying to update itself, so I think that is for position. I think you were right the first time.
Yeah. In any case, Graf and Kress are trying to hang on to these guys as well. They don't want to let Griffiths get away with it.
We've just passed the hour mark, by the way, guys. I just thought I'd point that one out to you. So we've been on the air for just over an hour.
Yes, indeed so. As now Griffiths trying to lap these guys. David Kupok is first, and he's going for the position here on Jasper Suto.
Yep, as Griffiths continuing to use the traffic to his advantage, really, to just put a bit of a breather between himself and Tobias Kress.
Indeed so.
As he's trying to go to the low side that time by, very interesting, probably because Kupok is trying to get underneath Michael Clark there, which he is able to do.
Well, Griffiths has gone through on Clark here. Looks like
Yep,
Ionescu is
and-
following up as well. He's using Griffiths to help him gain positions, and then maybe he can try to unlap himself.
Perhaps it all depends really on how Ionescu's tyres are handling at the moment, as Griffiths is now getting underneath Kupok.
He's got him.
Now he'll try and lap Valdinger in front. Who, remember, Valdinger was on pole for this race. It's all gone very wrong for the Hungarian.
Yeah, indeed. But things can shift very quickly, so who knows what's going to happen.
Who knows, really, as coming around these section of corners we go, as this train continues to make their way down the straight.
Yeah, indeed. George Bennett is in a race of his own at the moment, it appears.
Things starting to settle down a little bit, it's fair to say, at this point in time. Obviously, we've still got the few battles that are happening in the midfield, but everybody's just keeping settled for the meantime. Well, I say that because Gomez is actually getting underneath the Penske there of Will Parrish. And also Frankie
he's
Gomez
got
trying
him.
to get through as well.
Yeah, indeed. Gamba is trying to get up some ground here. Let's see if he can pull it off.
Yep, as Adventure trying to get through there on, I think that's... not 100% sure, to be honest. Potsuit's now trying to get underneath Parrish. As
So is
these guys...
Martinez.
Again, let's not forget, Martinez did start in last place, and he's already halfway up through the field now, because he's in P21.
Yeah, indeed. Meanwhile, Griffiths is having issues lapping David Kupok, that is. In fact, Michael Clark wants to unlap himself.
Well, it was going well for you at one point, Bent, but due to the pace car, you're now down in P22, so not going the way you expected at the moment, Bent.
Definitely not. But as long as you're on the lead lap, plenty of things can happen and can go your way. As Griffiths now puts a lap on David Kupok, how hard will Kupok try to counterattack?
He did counter-attack him earlier, so who's to say he won't do that again?
Clark and Ionescu are trying to follow up.
Yep, as that's Rahul Patel, who's currently trying to hold back a load of cars that are behind him.
Yeah, indeed so. Ooh, close to contact there between Howell and Lopez.
Yep, but luckily it didn't. Howell was yet again not turned around, thankfully. So
Yeah, so it seems.
As Motrin, meanwhile, is ahead of Jesus Perinin whilst we were looking at the group in front of us. So Motrin now makes his way up into the top 5 ahead of Jesus. So
Yes, indeed so. As we're on board Jim McKenzie down in 39th place. Back on this train, meanwhile.
So at the moment we have 2 Chip Ganassi cars in the top 5. Of course, we did have McKenzie up in the field a little bit earlier on, but like with plenty of cars, he did get screwed over by the pace car, so that's why he's down the field.
Yeah, indeed so. But I think Jordan Howell is beating lots of people is really the reason why P7 is over half a lap down on the leader.
Indeed, as you are currently P4 at the moment, Titkoff, so I don't know why you're saying RIP race. You're currently P4. Probably because you're 12 seconds back from Graf, maybe. But I wouldn't say it's over just yet, Titkoff, because this is the 500 at the end of the day. Only a pace car can turn this around, really. Yeah,
indeed so. As we're on board with Kress, he's trying to get a lap on Ionescu.
Indeed, as they make their way through the last 2 turns on the track.
Looks like Ionescu is trying to move on his own on David Kupok.
There's 2 battles going on at the same time in 2 separate positions of the track, really, as Griffiths again tries to lap Valdinger, but so far not able to do so at this point in time.
Ionescu's going for it into 1. I think he's got him.
So that will be P23, if I'm not mistaken, from the timing tower on the top right there, because he did say
I believe
P24
so.
there. But
Kress has gone through as well, but Graf hasn't. That's the car between Kress and Graf.
And so if Kress can get by on Ionescu, then he will only have himself and Griffiths left. And Griffiths is still yet to lap Bent Valdinger at the moment, as we are 6 laps away, will soon be 5 laps away from the 250-mile mark.
Indeed so. Griffiths continuing to lead, and he's been leading most of this race.
Now through into the first two turns, he goes a little bit high there, does Jamie Griffiths, so a bit of an interesting line there for the Welshman.
Indeed so. I think Ionescu is very, very eager to unlap himself, and these guys are catching up to a train.
It's true, Jamie, you are
Yeah,
right
quite a
there.
big
So,
train.
Watch Gamba make a move here. He's got adventure.
as Adventure and Gamba go side by side, and Gamba gets through there, and that is for P16. So, fair to say
Yeah,
for
adventure
Gamba,
was got high.
to say for Gamba, who started down in 38th, it's going pretty okay for the Italian at the moment.
Yeah, I guess so, definitely. As now Gomez
gonna
makes
get
a
another
move, Gamba
place.
squeezing past Chow China, lapping him very close here. As Gomez is following up as well, he's got him. And Adventure loses another position to Will Parrish. And I believe it's not just him coming through there. Ruslan Protsik is trying to get through on the pole as well. And the leading group is going to catch these guys.
They are on the back of these guys now, in fact, because Valdinger is right behind. So, not
Adventure is
really
losing a lot of
ideal for them.
places.
Absolutely, as now coming around the last turn to start lap 97 very, very soon. Crest still not been able to lap Ionescu just yet, but now there's more cars in front as Valdinger's going to get underneath Adventure now.
I think Ionescu is desperate to get on that lead lap and get himself past Jamie Griffiths.
Well, Jamie Griffiths is on the low point at the moment, so it's probably going to be a little bit difficult for Ionescu
Look
to
at
do
this,
that.
very close running to Chow China.
As they make their way down the straight now then, as Ionescu finds himself behind Cheo Chinet. So that's now two cars between Griffiths and Cress at the moment, as Valdinger going to get underneath. I think that's Martinez he's getting underneath now then.
He's got him.
Yep, so Valdinger gets through on him there.
Adventure looks
now
like he's going to get him as well.
Adventure's going to get underneath Martinez at this point in time. I believe that's
Meanwhile,
Proxy.
Griffiths has got a
I might be wrong.
massive advantage from Chow China holding up these guys.
I might be wrong, but I think that's Proxy that Valdinger's getting up to next. It looks like a similar livery to what Proxy's been running all day.
It is.
Okay, so I might have been right there that time. As Nella and Volker are coming up to each other, the two DTM teammates are quite close together.
Yeah, indeed. Both of them are top-class champions, of course.
And both of the Monaco Grand Prix winners as well, might I add. Along with Amar Khan
Yeah.
as well, who is now a three-time Monaco Grand Prix winner.
Yeah, that
Along
as
with
well.
Will Nella and Florian Volker, who are also three-time Monaco Grand Prix winners. So a load of three-time Monaco Grand Prix winners in this race.
Oh, yeah, that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So we make our way towards the next section of corners as Graf, meanwhile, keeping very quiet in P3. He's got a car between himself and Cress at the moment. In fact, still two cars between Griffiths and Cress at this point.
Yes, absolutely. Meanwhile, Griffiths looking a little comfortable right now. Chow China, though, is trying to unlap himself, is not too close to him.
As now, as you can see, as Garma goes into the pits, a scheduled stop for him. As now Griffiths is about to start lap 100, so we have now reached 250 miles.
Yep, that's the halfway point. We're halfway done, one half to go.
So
Yeah,
we're now into the
indeed.
second half
It's
of this
true.
Indy 500 race.
Kress has gone from Chow China. Graf is trying to do as well.
Ooh, a bit
But
close.
still more cars for Graf to deal with before we can get onto his compatriot again.
Yes, indeed so.
As now coming around at these section of corners, Valdinger again on a charge as he's trying to get underneath the car in front of him at the moment.
Yes, that's true.
As Mocho is currently holding up this train again, so more back markers to deal with in this race.
Yeah, and Mocho could help bring the front three closer together again. And maybe not just them, because look, Maxim Titkov is now just 6 seconds down. He's just getting another second as I speak.
While Franco Garmisch has come out of the pit, so he's just finished his scheduled stop there.
Yeah, indeed. But it looks like Mocho, him and Howell held up a lot of people, and that helped the front runners get away from them. Now he could help those other people get back up to the front runners.
I wonder when we'll get to see the next set of stops. I wouldn't imagine it's that far away, to be honest.
No, probably not. As we're still on board with Griffiths, is he going to try a lap adventure? Trying to start second in this race?
As he's still going to stick behind Adventure at this point in time, and Ionescu is just happy to follow him along at the moment.
Yeah, I guess so. Griffiths goes a little high, but it's nothing to worry about.
I guess the fully yellow cars have to stick together, I guess.
Probably.
Maybe it's a council meeting between the three of them, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. In any case, Griffiths has dropped back a little bit from Adventure. I think he's desperate to keep Ionescu behind him as an insurance policy, so that Crest doesn't get any ideas.
Perhaps so, but he's also a... in fact, Crest has actually got by on Keoshani. In fact, Keoshani's now dropped back, so it's now just one car between Griffiths and Crest. I don't think we've had any more retirements. I don't think we've had any more retirements after Howell and Anderson, if I'm not mistaken. I think we've still got 40 cars left.
I would just, sorry to disturb you, Joe, I'd just like to point out, Maxim Titkov has got back up. He's now just 1.5 seconds down on the leader, so that 12-second gap has been cut down rapidly.
See, Maxim never jumped to conclusions.
Close.
See, Maxim never jumped to conclusions, because anything can happen in the Indy 500.
Yep, that's absolutely right. As now we're on board with Gabriel Gomez, currently in 16th place. He won't be gaining any places so soon because Mocho is not racing him for position.
Yep, indeed. Just trying to look where Titkov is. There he is. He's just trying to get underneath Franco Gamba, who has just made a pit stop, of course.
Well, he's done it.
Yep, and now Titkov finds himself on the back of... Indeed. Mochin and Perinin are not that far behind either. So the pink Maya Shank car and the blue and orange Chip Ganassi car are not that far away either.
Nope, definitely not.
It's now making our way onto the straight. This camera angle is very familiar because it's the same camera angle that was used for when Adam Wolf won the first ever Indy 500. So some memories there.
Indeed so. Is Gabriel Gomez going to try anything? Or is he happy to stay behind Mocho, I wonder?
I wonder. Maybe he's just using it tactically just to ensure that Parrish doesn't get any ideas behind him.
Could be. Could very well be.
As now we make our way towards the final two turns on the racetrack, as we now look at Campana, who is, fair to say, it's not really the race he wanted so far.
No, definitely not. He's still struggling for pace despite the new car he's jumped in.
Of course, let's not forget as well, Campana did break down, of course, but he's obviously got that car repaired and now finds himself a load of laps down. So in his case, he's just praying for a load of pace cars to happen. But given what we've seen so far, I think that's highly doubtful for him.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Meanwhile, Griffith's still sitting tight in the yellow car sandwich. He's got these two guys serving as buffers for him, I'd assume. Maybe it is the yellow gang.
As now they come around these corners, he looked like he went a tad bit lower there than what Adventure did. As Cress is right on the gearbox of Ionescu, so will Cress think about maybe trying to get underneath the Romanian? And the answer to that is no, because I think Ionescu is still tagging along the slipstream with there of Griffiths.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting game of chess. Obviously, Ionescu wants to get himself back on the lead lap, Adventure wants to not get lapped, and Griffiths just wants to put some cars between himself and Cress. So a lot of people with different tactics all at the same time, and it's very fascinating to see it play out.
Mark, you are around P25, I think. So judging from what I just saw there on the stream, so I think you're around P25, Michael. So meanwhile, we've got Nella there.
That's held back up again. He's getting lapped by some more people.
Up as Howell continuing to fall backwards at this point in time, and there is Armar Carr, like with his top class teammate Franco Lopez, getting a little bit screwed over by the strategy from that pace car we had earlier on in the race.
Yeah, indeed. So far, the only pace car. There could be another one.
We will see, of course, because of course we do have this big train, so anything could happen within this train, of course.
It doesn't look like Griffiths has decided to do anything. Meanwhile, then Adventure has shaken him off just a little bit and is trying to gain another position from, I believe that is Rosel Martinez.
Is Martinez. Martinez currently P19 from last position, so getting up the field at the moment is the Filipino, so doing a very good job is Martinez.
Definitely an impressive drive, and as long as he stays on the lead lap, there's still hope, of course.
Absolutely. As Gomez again still not deciding to go through on Mocho just yet, just happy to hang back at this point in time.
You know, it looks like Ionescu in the Dacia is gaining onto Griffiths.
Yep, indeed. Also, at the same time, preventing Cress from trying to get by at this point in time. There's Perenin, who's in front of Lopez at the moment. And Perenin currently in P6 right now.
Yep, indeed, that's right. As De Rosa, meanwhile, is making a move.
Is on Adam Wolf, I think? Yes, it is.
I just want to point out, not too long ago, the gap between P1 and P7 was like 29 seconds. It's now dropped down all the way back to 22.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 29 car was Adam Wolf, but he's just been overtaken, as we've just seen there, by De Rosa and a couple of others as well. So maybe they're using each other right now to get close to those guys. It's now down to 20.32 seconds. I think they're all basically slipstreaming each other at this point to try and gain back onto the prow of Jesus Perenin.
Yeah, indeed. These guys are working together, gain on the leaders, and they've got the gap in a third.
Where are you right now, Samatoskin? We've got to look for a number 88 car somewhere to find out where you are.
Looks like Griffiths has pulled away from Cress. He's increased the gap to over a second and a half almost, to a second and a half just under, I'd say. I wonder what happened.
Meanwhile, we're going to try and see where Samet Oskin is while everything is currently stabilised at the moment. We've just got to look for the number 88 car at the moment. As Gomez, in fact, where is Mocho? I don't see Mocho at that point, so I don't know if he's just broke away there from Mocho.
I think something's happened. Ionescu's lost a lot of time, and Cress as well.
They've started to get by on Mocho now then, so...
Well, there goes any chance of Ionescu unlapping himself from Griffith, I believe.
There we are. There's Samet Oskin. You are P30. You're P30 right now, Samet. So, whilst we're speaking there, we just mentioned there, Mocho is now starting to get lapped now. Gomez has decided enough's enough, he's going to get through.
And Mocho is holding up these people so much. Cress is in second, but he's having to deal with Mocho, and look how much Griffiths has pulled away.
We might start to see, in fact, if you look, Griffiths 3.54 ahead of Cress right now, as Cress is having to still deal with the traffic, because he's still stuck behind Robert Ionescu. He needs to dispose of him pretty quickly, because Griffiths is also still stuck behind Daniel Adventure, but I think the pair of them have been, you could say, working together here to get through this lot, as Gomez is on the high side there.
Yeah, indeed, Parrish is trying to get past Gomez here, and I think he's done it. Martinez is going to try again there as well.
5 seconds.
And Cress has lost so much time as a result of this.
I would say the reason why Gomez went to the high side there is because Valdinger got by him there. So Valdinger continuing to make his way up through the field.
And Gomez having to go high again.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Adventure and Griffiths decide to follow through very soon. So having said that, Adventure and Gomez are teammates, of course. So it wouldn't surprise me if he wouldn't go by.
Meanwhile, Cress is losing even more time to Griffiths.
As we've got some more pit stops now.
It's and Hal.
Shane and Howell just came into the pits there.
Yeah.
So will we see any of the leaders come in very soon? I think we are pretty close to when we should see the third scheduled stops getting underway for the leaders. So we will see.
Yeah, I believe so. Here goes Martinez making the move. He's got him.
Was the pace car, Jay? That's why. Your strategy kind of screwed you over there because you were near the front earlier on.
Yeah, indeed. Meanwhile, here goes Adventure. Try and get the move done here.
Gomez getting by on
Parrish. Griffiths is also following through. Oh, very close, but Adventure hasn't got him yet, but on exit he might. With the toe from Gomez, he might have the position on the straight line. Yeah, he has it.
I will point out, it's 5.36 between Griffiths and Cress. It's also around 5 seconds between Cress and Graf right now. Graf currently having to fend off from Titkov at the moment.
I'd imagine this is Mocho's doing as Adventure is coming into the pits.
This is Griffiths. This is in as well. The race leader is in.
Yes, indeed he is. Meanwhile, Cress has left Ionescu, so that is why he is pulling away from Graf so much.
Eric has just come in there, as we will see Griffiths make his pit stop. As he'll soon be pulling over to the left, which he is doing. So he will pull towards his box.
Graf is also in, I think. I'm not sure.
I think that is a red car. It's just gone by. Yeah, Graf is in. Graf is in.
Yeah,
Volk is in. As is He's one of the McLarens there who's just gone in. So, and that is
Yeah,
Quad
that's
who's
right.
just gone in. It's,
indeed.
meantime, that does put as a result, it does put Cress in the lead at this point in time.
If that's
Yeah,
right, a lot
German
of people are
leader.
in.
Yeah, nice.
And Adventure is still just in front of Griffiths. And I wonder what impact this will have.
Not good for Jamie Griffiths.
One thing I do want to check, because we haven't checked this for a while, does Graf still have the fastest lap, or is that somebody else now? It's somebody else. It's Jesus Perinen. It's Jesus Perinen who has it.
Yeah, apparently doing quite well.
So that's that really. As Suto's now in, Andrioli is now in the pits, and Martinez in. Cress is in.
Yeah,
Bryce
the best
Cress is in the pits.
coming in.
Important stop.
Yeah,
Where
how
does he
far
come out
behind will he be in relation to
Where
Griffiths?
does he come out in relation to Jamie Griffiths? We've got to look for a yellow car, which is there, so
There
we're
was.
still quite far behind.
Yeah, indeed, but it depends how much Griffiths will be held up by Adventure.
It's still going to be quite far behind, so Griffiths is still going to lead, but will Cress catch him up? That is the question.
Yeah, indeed.
As, of course, Graf made his pit stop earlier. That's why it says 1 lap down for him, and he's currently down in P10 at the moment. As there's still
Look
a
at
few cars
this.
yet to
Gamba
pit.
is right behind these guys, including George Roke.
Well, Motrin currently P2, but he is expected to pit.
Watch
Clark
Patel
and
going for
Roke.
the move.
Yep. As Motrin getting underneath Gamba. Will he come into the pits? Let's see. Just keep an eye on how low he goes. I think he is coming in. And he is. Motrin in.
Yeah. Patel is also in,
in.
as is Lopez.
So, as Perinin decides to stay out for a little bit longer. So,
Interesting strategy.
In fact, I think Perinin has already pitted, in fact, because it says he's down in P9. So, I think we might have missed that there. So, Perinin has already pitted.
Probably.
He is behind Graf. As
Cress is racing with Tupac.
Tupac, of course, just coming out of the pits there, so he just gets by him pretty easily there. And,
yeah.
Any more cars in? As it says Nella currently P3 at the moment. I know he hasn't pitted just yet as Mr. Nella. So, now look at Griffiths, who's just coming out of turns 1 and 2. Still stuck behind Adventure at the moment, so he can't seem to get rid of him so far. So far, Titkov is in the lead, but he still needs to pit.
Yeah. I wonder how much Titkov will be able to gain as a result of this, or if he's gaining at all.
Is he in the pits now, though?
Wolf is making a move on Neller here, look.
Nella has already pitted, so the 22 has just dropped down a few places now, so Nella has pitted. I'm not sure about Titkov at the moment.
Yeah, here we have Armor for Team Liverpool rejoining the track.
Right next to Mocho right now.
It's crucial that he's gone out in front of Mocho.
Volker gets underneath Mocho now, along with Terwick and Quarg.
And here are Wolf and Neller.
Titkov, meanwhile, has just pitted, so Griffiths is now back in the lead.
Indeed so. The gap to Cress is just under 3 seconds.
As Mocho continues to fall back a little bit now, I wonder if he's got similar problems to what Howell has.
I wonder the same. In any case, we need to get back to the action. As someone just brushed the wall there. We saw some sparks.
Very lucky that they didn't get any further damage for that. And Titkov, in fact, is in front of Motrin still. He's P4. So it doesn't look like much has changed in the top 5 at the moment. Not even in the top 6, I should say.
No, definitely not.
Really.
But look at this. Cress is gaining. He's reduced the gap to Griffiths further. It's just 1.3 seconds now.
He does have fresher tyres compared to Griffiths, so that could play into his advantage a little bit.
Totally.
That's Graf now then, he's just trying to get through on this traffic. Graf, of course, currently in P3 right now, but he would like to dispose this traffic pretty quickly because he is continuously losing time to Cress right now. If he's not careful, Titkov could start to get back onto the back of him again. As Valdinger getting underneath Howell again to lap him. Currently P16 at the moment is the Hungarian. As here is the
One
leader.
place where you don't want to be stuck is behind Jordan Howell right now, as Griffiths got him, so has Gomez.
As we try and look in comparison to where Cress is right now. There's Cress. We can just about see him there. Right there.
I'll start making it difficult for people.
Yes. It's Cress, and there is Griffiths, you can just see there. So that's how far he is from him. It's
very close to the there.
That
What
nearly
the
ended in
hell?
disaster there for Cress. He doesn't want to be doing that because it's very clear that Cress could be in contention for the win here. So he really doesn't want to be doing that.
Here we go. Martinez making that move. He's gone past Waldinger, and Adventure will follow up.
Yep, and Gomez is not that far behind from Griffiths either. Griffiths going to try and get underneath Waldinger himself, which I think he will do.
Yeah, indeed. Meanwhile, Ionescu is trying to get past Hal.
Yep, he is indeed, as Cress is going to stick behind Parrish for the moment. In fact, Griffiths didn't get by on Waldinger that time, in fact, Gomez
Look at
is
this.
trying to
Gomez
get
trying
around
to go for the outside. That's very bold.
As Cress gets underneath Parrish, so this could be quite crucial indeed, because Gomez is on the high side. Will Cress try and get hold of Gomez? Then he'll put himself right behind Griffiths.
He's definitely attacking.
As now
Here goes
coming around the
Gomez.
cross, as Gomez goes underneath. Will Cress take advantage?
Yes, he will.
Yes.
Griffiths has been
Got
got
a
high.
lead change. Got a lead
Good
change.
lead.
Cress takes the lead.
Yeah, Tobias Cress is the new race leader there.
Absolutely. So, after spending a while in front, we now have a new race leader in the form of Tobias Cress.
That was just his best lap, as a matter of fact.
Absolutely. And an interesting fact as well. Gomez is the only OC champion to have won the Indy 500. Will Cress join him? That is going to be a question.
Could be a very interesting answer to that question, Joe.
Daniel Adventure now tries to have a go at Martinez, whilst also dragging Waldinger with him.
Yeah, indeed. These guys very clearly want to stay on the lead lap. A pace car could save them and bring them back into the fight for the win.
So now we head down the straight as Adventure will try and get underneath, perhaps, maybe try and have a go at Martinez, as Gomez is going to try and get underneath Waldinger here, but Waldinger saying no to that. But they've also got the two leaders right behind him, and Griffiths will want to try and get back onto Cress if he can.
Yes, definitely so.
Now Demel and Mocho continue to fight it out just a little bit in front.
Here goes Adventure.
He's not going for the move this time by. He's just going to stick behind the Filipino at this point in time.
Indeed.
As Gomez is back on the lead lap and he's celebrating that one, as he'll now try and find his way through on Waldinger if he can. In fact, I think this is a four-car battle, if I'm not mistaken, that we're looking at. As Gomez is going to try and have a go at Waldinger on the inside. That was very close.
Shutting the door. That was incredibly bold defense, but Ben's Waldinger's defense hasn't paid off. Had to concede the place there. Could have ended in disaster, but thankfully not.
Gomez goes through, but I think Waldinger isn't willing to let that one go. He was thinking about trying to get back on him there, but thought better of it in the end, as now Cress and Griffiths fancy their chances. Try and keep an eye on the gap between themselves and Graf right now, because if they continue to get stuck behind, Graf could close up as well. So let's wait and see. But Graf has got traffic to deal with himself, including John Howell.
In fact, Graf had just lost time.
As,
Yeah, indeed.
maybe not yet at this point in time, as meanwhile, I'm just looking at the gaps here. Perinin is not that far behind Titkov. In fact, we've got a fight for fourth, a big three-car fight for fourth going on between Titkov, Perinin and Motrin.
Yes, we do. Meanwhile, Lopez trying to get involved in the scrap as well.
Motrin getting underneath Perinin, here he goes. And that is P5 for the Hungarian.
Yep, he's got that place started.
How will he try and get hold of Titkov, who is just in front of him right now?
Look at this
One of his
behind.
teammates, of course.
There's a move.
Yep.
Attempt of a move for Lincampana.
Absolutely, as Oskin gets underneath Lopez. Meanwhile, I think that is for position, if I'm not mistaken.
Should be, yeah. We need to get back to the leading group, I believe, because it's quite close.
0.16 between the pair of them right now, as Griffiths is still behind Cress at this point, as Cress is still stuck behind Waldinger.
Griffiths was in this same position for a very long time. Now it's Cress in that position. You're leading the race with your challenger close behind. There's a lot of traffic in front. What do you do? And I think it's now going to be Tobias Cress's time to answer. Sorry, not Thomas.
Pretty sure there isn't a Thomas in this race, I believe. I don't think Bennett or, well, even Anderson. The Thomas Anderson's not in this either. In fact, Thomas Anderson is not in any tier. So
I think I know why I accidentally said Thomas, but moving on.
Anyway, as Cress is trying to get up to the gearbox of Waldinger right now, then. As,
yeah, he definitely trying.
Gomez will want to try and get a hold of his own teammate, Daniel Adventure, right now.
Totally.
And, as they're actually all stuck behind, well, Another one of Gomez and Adventure's teammates, Michael Mocho.
Oh dear, it's happened again.
Michael Mocho, of course, driving the Colton Herta. Well, now it's the Colton Herta car, I should point out. Well, I think it was Colton Herta's car from 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I guess so.
Of course, a lot of people were hoping that Colton Herta would make it into Formula 1 this year with all the Andretti rumours, but that didn't happen, of course.
Maybe next year, who knows?
Who knows, really? As
I just hope we can get an American back on the grid soon. And by an American, I don't mean Santino Ferrucci.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, meantime, Mocho now getting lapped by these guys, as everybody's now trying to get underneath him.
Yeah, he's making way for Martinez. Adventure squeezing in through as well. So is Gomez, and here is going to come Waldinger.
Indeed. Meantime,
Press
looking at
can't make it.
Press didn't make it by on Mocho there, so that's not going to be good news for the German. That could bring Griffiths back into play, if that is the case.
Well, Griffiths needs to react quickly to this, because Kress won't be impeded behind Mocho for too long.
Nope, definitely not. Is now coming around the final turn. We will go. Will Crest try and lap him onto the pit straight? And will Griffiths take advantage if he can't?
That is his best chance, as now Martinez making a move.
Trying to get underneath, that is Rafael de Mel, and so will Adventure and Gomez, I think.
Yeah.
And they will do. As they go through pretty easily. Waldinger also trying to get behind at the moment. As not sure what's going on the lead group. Crest still in front for the moment, but still stuck behind Mocho.
Yeah, totally.
Do want to point out, look how far behind Graf is.
Yeah. Ooh, Kress very close to back of Mocho there. Mocho still holding on. I think Kress got him now on the inside. He's got him.
He's only 1.9 behind the top two, so he's getting close as well, along with the battle for
But there's
fourth
still
as
a
well.
lot of cars
So it's
in
all starting to
between
close up
them.
again.
Yeah.
It's all getting close up. There is Graf. You can just see him there, look.
Ionescu gets past Mocho in the meantime, as now Griffiths is losing ground. He's gone high.
Might play into the hands of Graf, given how close everybody is behind, but there is a bit of a gap between Parish and the car behind at the moment, which I think might be...
I think that is Ruslan Protiuk.
And you've got Robert Ionescu as well, as Parish again, not really doing his teammate any favours right now. These two are teammates, of course. They are Penske's.
Remember that 30-second gap to P10? Well, that gap is now down to 3 seconds. So an incredible reversal in fortune.
Absolutely right. As Griffiths
It is
actually stays in
true.
front, as that's Campana in the pits.
Yep, indeed. Speaking of which, we should be seeing some pit stops soon enough, I would dare say.
Judging from that, perhaps so, but we will see, of course. I think we're getting close to that point where we'll see the fourth scheduled stops being made. Of course, you do a lot of pit stops in the 500, given how abrasive the tyres are on the ovals.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the size of the fuel tanks, too.
They're not that big compared to Formula 1, let's put it that way. And again, they're not that big in Formula 1 either, it's just preservation, really. As that's Nella trying to get underneath. Is that Chaos? I don't think that's Chaos Shadow, it's somebody else he's trying to get underneath.
In any case, he's done it, I believe, as Mocho continues to impede these guys a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have Patel racing with Oskan.
As Brennan trying to lap Clark there as he's trying to get onto the back of Motrin, as Griffiths again still stuck behind.
There is a little bit of a problem for Tobias Kress, because now he's the one at the front of this train, so I won't be getting any slipstream from anybody.
He's just giving his fellow compatriot the slipstream, and could help Griffiths as well, who's only just a car behind Kupok now then. As Parish, I think because of team orders, halted on trying to get by on Griffiths there.
Perhaps. Griffiths has gone a little high meanwhile. It's not helping him get closer to Kupok, but Protiuk is going for a move on Will Parish. Unsuccessfully, though. It could help Ionescu get closer.
Perhaps, but keep an eye, because you do have Griffiths in that little group there. As meanwhile, we've got another group of cars fighting each other here. Look, a 5-car group, I should say.
Because Ionescu...
Oh,
he's got the Protiuk and he's out of the race. Massive crash there. They're rolling. And massive collision. That is the end of Ionescu's race, I believe. End of
Protiuk's race is done. There's more collisions behind. That's Hell going over.
Oh my goodness.
That's definitely caution.
This was coming for a very long time.
Not even a question. We've got 2 collisions there. Nella also involved there. You can just about see there, but a few cars involved. And we've got our second pace car. It's taken us a while, but we finally got a second pace car in this race. So we're going to definitely see some pit stops now. And maybe even a shake-up in the order, which could be very interesting.
Indeed. Absolutely. Let's see what happened there again.
The collision happened before Nella got there, of course. Because we did see Hal flip over and Protsiuk flip over as well. So this happened way before. And it all started with Ionescu and Protsiuk.
Yeah, I think both these guys were desperate to get back on the lead lap, and stuff like that happens when you're racing so hard.
It was also a lucky escape from Graf, to be honest. Just right behind these guys.
Let's have a look. So, yeah, I think, to be fair, Rob, I think you were a little bit too eager there to get by on Ruslan, and that's how it happened.
Probably, yeah. Either way, it's a shame, but my race is over.
A few races are over. We'll get the DNF list up as soon as we can to see how many cars are left in the race. But yeah, just a little bit too eager there for Ionescu, and that's how the crash happened. I think Hal probably just got caught up there because I'll be interested to see how he ended up flipping over.
Oh.
There was the collision there between Ionescu and I believe that might have been Oskin that might have clipped the back of him, or maybe Kale Shane.
I think so.
I don't know who it was that clipped the back of him, but it was someone. As we tried to look to see if back on live timing, or we're trying to have a look to see where Hal was in all of this.
Either way, that's one high speed wreck I'll never forget.
As here is Hal. Let's see how he flipped over then. And I think he probably he just clipped whoever that was there. He clipped the car, the orange and white car there up. Not sure who that orange and white car was. Was that Kale?
I think that was Oscar. No, that was Oscar, most likely.
Oscar, it was Oscar. So Simon Oscar
I'll be right back.
Along with Ionescu. As we try and look at the retirement list there. So the number 30 is out of the race. We've got Ionescu out, Oscar out. Howell is officially out of the race, so Howell is out. The number 30 car is out. I'm trying to figure out who number 30 is, in fact. Let me just bring it up on the list, who the number 30 car is. And Protsiuk, in fact, is number 30.
Isn't Graf ahead of Griffiths?
Protsiuk
is.
Oh, that's interesting.
Graf's ahead of Jamie Griffiths.
So Graf is ahead. Was that down to a pit stop? I think that might have been.
I think it was. It has to be.
They're on the left-hand side, as you can see there. So, there was a little bit of a collision there between Griffiths and Graf. So maybe Griffiths may be a little bit unhappy there. But whatever the case, Graf has got the jump on Griffiths there.
Yeah,
jump
I have returned. Oh my goodness. Well, it's going to come in, and Tobias Kress will lead, but I think...
Again, it might have been because we're on the replays for quite a while, Yuri, so that might have been the case. But anyway, pace car's coming in.
We'll get back to racing.
The way, because the Batmobile Campana is leading the way, so he'll be the one who'll be setting the speed for the leaders. But now we have Graf in second place ahead of Griffiths.
I think this crash is exactly what a lot of people need. It's shaking up the race once again. It could go anyone's way.
There's no FE this week, Jordan, so you're incorrect there. FE is, like with GP2 in the top class, it's got a contingency rule on it with the Indy 500, so that's why it's not on this week.
Chris, unable to get past Campana there.
Next week, though, we'll Formula E. As, especially with your new host, of course, Miran FG, who should make his debut on hosting this Sunday, in fact, with BTCC. I've sent him all the files over, so he should be ready to go.
Look at this, Griffiths already on the attack. He's going to try to get past Graf rapidly.
Got Campana to deal with as well, who, let's not forget, was a leader quite early on in the race, but he's not anymore, as Kress is now going to get underneath Campana along with the rest of the top three.
Yeah, here goes Graf. He's gone from Campana, and let's see if Griffiths can follow up alongside. Yeah, so the leaders are racing just each other now. No back markers for now.
Indeed, as...
how many cars are on the lead lap, by the way?
Yeah, a lot.
Indeed.
19.
As I think that's Titkov.
60 to go. That's not Titkov, that is Kupok.
Okay, Motrin is clearly too far back from the top three. I think maybe...
For now.
Now, at least, right now, the early contenders you've got to look at are probably Kress, Graf, and Griffiths right now. So far, it's a German 1-2 in this race.
Yeah, for the moment, but Jamie Griffiths is determined to break it. If you remember 2 seasons ago, we had 2 Brits against the Brazilian. Now we have 2 Germans against the Welshman.
Yep, indeed. As Graf going a little bit higher there than Griffiths, but Griffiths does not capitalise on that for the moment, as Kress is trying to build a bit of a gap between himself and Graf at this point.
Don't forget, I believe the fuel load these guys have got won't be enough to the end of the race. They're going to have to make one more stop at least.
We'll see, of course, as Griffiths is going to try and get underneath Graf. Is this going to be P2 for the Welshman?
It is.
Indeed.
Right from the get-go. Didn't waste any time. The next target for him is the Grand Prix. Can he get past Tobias Kress quickly?
Let's see if he can try and get back into the lead now. Then as he tucks right into the slipstream of the other German, he's going to try and potentially have a go, but he's going to hang back for the moment. Maybe wait until turn 1, perhaps.
He's not taking his first chance. He'll wait.
As now they
Well,
make their way
Kupok
through.
is being overtaken further back.
People did pit George, hence why Graf got ahead of Griffiths, I think. So, anyways, now we make our way through these sections.
It's a shame that my plan to unlock myself and then get back in the fight with, thanks to pace car was ruined by me. But things happen. In any case, Griffiths and Kress are racing each other, pulling away from Graf a little bit, as Kupok seems to try to unlap himself. You have Daniel Fraser making a move on not on Titkoff, on Mochin in the meantime.
Titkoff, though, is going to make the move on Motrin, though, so that's back up to P4 for him.
Yeah, indeed so. Here goes Griffiths, another shot for him. And get him into turn 1, he's definitely trying it.
Point out, I've just realised that number 15 is Daniel Fraser. Fraser's in fact in 4th position, so he's actually in front of both of those.
Yeah, that was for position, as was this. Griffiths is taking the lead, and Graf is taking back 2nd from his
Graf is also going.
Yeah. Let's see if Graf will go after Griffiths right now. No, I think Griffiths has a little bit of enough of a leeway.
Jamie Griffiths back in the lead on lap 144.
Here goes Kress, back at Graf.
There we go, and he is going through again. So back up to second goes Tobias Kress.
Oh, Graf's been caught high. He's going to lose time.
That's not good for him.
What was that?
Now there's a car between Kress and Graf as a result. Will Kress try and get back onto Griffiths, though?
I don't think he's close enough, but though that car is George Rowe.
Brand-new adventure. Pace cars today. Didn't really check the retirement list, by the way, who's out of the race and how many cars are left. There are 36 cars left in this race. As you can see from the retirements, you have Proxute, Ionescu, Oskin, Howell, Galloway, and Anderson. They have been the 6 retirements in this race.
Indeed so. As here goes Volker, who is up in 6th place. He's overtaken Mochin.
Yeah, he's up into P6, is Florian Volker. So,
could Florian Volker perhaps be a dark horse in this race?
Who knows, really? Who knows?
We need to get the panel back to the leading gaps.
Indeed, as Kress is being unlapped again by George Roque, who's currently in 20th position. So
he's got no one between himself and Griffith, so George Roque wants to get back on the lead.
Underneath Graf, meanwhile.
Yeah, Graf seems to have got him. Kupok also trying to unlap himself from these guys. I think his compatriot David Kupok. Kupok has got Kress, and Kress is under a lot of danger now that he's been caught high.
He's up into P2. Now, will he try and dispose of Roque and try and go after Griffiths?
He's got to. He can't let Griffiths get away. Meanwhile, here goes Fraser. He's overtaken Kress. So finally we got someone new in the top 3.
Fraser up into P3. Titkoff is also getting through as well, look. And then pretty soon could Volker try and get into the top 5 himself.
Yeah, indeed. That safety car is definitely shaking up the field. Griffiths and Kress looked very comfortable earlier on. Now, they're going to have to fight quite a lot.
Here comes the Seagull Man.
Titkoff up into P4, Volker up to P5 now.
Kress is dropping places so rapidly.
Bit of a shame for him because he was fighting at the front a little bit earlier, but there's so far a car between Griffiths and Graf right now. So far Griffiths still leading this race.
Yeah, indeed. At least we got more cars in the fight now. Here goes Titkoff for the move on Fraser. He's got him.
P3 for Maxim Titkoff. Will Florian Volker try and find his way through on Fraser as well?
He's definitely trying, but he's not close enough right now. Griffiths continuing to lead, and he's got Roque as a cushion.
Indeed, as now they make their way towards the final 2 turns now then.
Here goes Kupok and Titkov racing each other. Titkov's going for the move on the other black car. He's lapped him.
And now he's just got him and Graf in front to try and get P2.
Yep, totally.
Meanwhile, Fraser's still in front of Volker at this point, so he's still holding on to 4th at this
Here we have
point.
Mocho. Mocho is the slowest car on track because of damage he sustained earlier. So he's been holding up a lot of people, and it looks like it'll be happening again. As Fraser makes a move on Kupok, Volker is trying to follow up, lapping his compatriot. He's done that. Kress is trying to follow through as well, and these guys are catching more traffic. Look, Griffiths has gone to the back of Will Neller.
Ideally, Neller would not want to be in the way of Griffiths. That's for sure, because those two are teammates.
Don't forget, this is good news for George Roke, because he's racing the guys in front of Griffiths right now.
Yeah, he is indeed. Neller trying to find his way through an adventure, trying to get onto the gearbox as Chaos Shani is just putting a lap on Mocho again.
Yeah, indeed, the reigning champion, unlikely to defend his crown, but he is lapping Mocho here. So is Adventure, he's going for the move here, almost touching, that was tight, as we got just 51 laps to go.
Yeah, indeed, as Griffiths now gets underneath of Mocho, as does Rogue, and as will Graf, I'm pretty sure. I think they're all going to try and make their way through this time by.
Yes, absolutely. Titkov should be expected to make the move soon. Yeah, there he is, look.
Absolutely, is now around the section of corners we go. Fraser now getting underneath Mocho, now Volker will as well.
Here comes Kupok up next, though we're not going to see. We're looking at Griffiths again. He is not too close to Will Neller, and not too close to George Roken behind him. As our China is under pressure now.
That was De Rosa who was trying to find a way through there on Chaos Shani at the moment.
Look at Titkov, he's attacking Graf. Very close action here, and Titkov might get him. Yes, he has.
Yes, that is going to be P2 for the Russian. So up into second place goes Maxim Titkov. Will Fraser now follow through, in fact, because he's now going to try and get underneath, and Volker's not that far behind either.
It looked impossible for Titkov earlier in the race. He was feeling pretty hopeless. Well, now that 12-second gap has been extinguished, and he is in the fight for the win again.
He's up to P3, and now Volker's up to P4.
Yeah, Graf has lost that place. Kupok is right there close as well.
Yep, so now Fraser will want to try and get hold of Titkov if he can. As
it goes to Rasa.
Rosa again trying to get underneath Chaos Shani. I think he might get him this time. It might allow Valdinger and everybody else behind to follow through, and yes, it will.
Yeah, Valdinger goes for as well. So does Adventure. Watch for Neller and Griffiths next. Don't forget, Griffiths was behind Adventure for a really long time. He's still behind him, but there's Neller in front. As our China will be lapped.
As now making their way through the section, Griffiths now gets through on Chaos Shani. Ooh, careful, Penske.
That was incredible. Himself and his teammate Will Neller. That was crazy stuff.
Roger Penske, who also owns the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, would probably not be happy with that if those two collided.
No, the captain surely wouldn't like that. In any case, Fraser is looking good. As now De Rosa is making way, Griffith has gone through. Adventure is only got Waldinger in front of him.
Indeed, as Krog is fighting, I think, with...
Look at that, 208 on the last lap for the leader. That was a very slow lap.
Yeah, indeed. As Fraser trying to get underneath some more traffic. And Griffiths has actually now put a lap on Neller, I should point out. I think we didn't...
Meanwhile, Roke has just overtaken Will Neller. Titkov makes his way through as well. Adventure is going for it in the meantime. Waldinger is vulnerable, and Adventure likes them vulnerable. Like Dan Ricardo said. These two guys started first and second. Now they're just in front of the leader. Fighting hard, not get lapped.
Not really ideal for the pair of them, is it?
No, definitely not. In any case, they're still battling it out. And they'll be hoping they can race each other cleanly. And Griffiths will be hoping he won't be impeded too much because he's got Titkov chasing after him. And Griffiths wants to take matters into his own hands. He tried to get past Adventure there.
I should point out, we have passed the 3/4 mark, by the way. We've passed that.
Indeed,
now.
we have. We're in the crucial last third of the race.
We have now passed the 375 mile mark?
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, so
Griffiths has gone high.
Went to as well, Joe.
What? What did you say, Dennis?
Yeah, Joe was also asking for if he was sure about the 375 mile. Remember that?
Right. All right.
On my mind.
You have Griffiths going high again. He should be thankful Roke is behind him, providing some cushion between himself and Titkov. Fraser is also up in the third place, so Fraser's doing quite well. As
Yep.
Adventure's having another look at Ben's Valgar. Watch this. Maybe he'll get him.
Stick behind him for the moment, as Griffiths is going to go a little bit low here. In fact, Roke
Switch
might
is
get
high.
underneath. Watch out for
Roke's got
Titkov.
him.
Watch out for Titkov.
Ditkov's gonna gun for the lead now into turn 2. Surely Griffiths has been caught high, and Titkov takes the
Yes,
lead.
he goes.
New leader, Maxim Titkov.
And Griffiths is still under threat because Fraser is right there, look.
Fraser could take P2 out of this as well. Flying Volker
He's not
being
going
held up by
for it.
Ronella at this
Roke
point.
is going for the move on that Adventure. He can pull it off. Griffiths is still close behind, so this fight is far from over. We got a new leader. It's Maxim Titkov.
Indeed, but Griffiths is not going to give up easily, and Fraser's not that far behind. Meanwhile, as I mentioned earlier, Volker being held up by Nella at this point, so that's not ideal for the 5-time top-class champion.
Here goes Titkov. So close running here, but he's gone past Roke. Griffiths has to follow through, and he gets back
So
past the Roke once again.
He gets through as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Fraser also follows through as well. But
Fraser is
there
a
bit of
little
gap.
far back. Titkov is getting onto Adventure though. Griffiths still side by side with Roke. Has a middle game initially into 3, now he's got him. And let's see if Fraser will do the same into 4. Roke got high, and Fraser will swoop through.
Indeed, as now they make their way down the straight now then.
Yeah, absolutely. Now here goes Titkov attacking Adventure. Can he put a lap on him? Ooh, so close that was. But now
Very
he's got
close
him.
indeed. Will Griffiths follow through as well? Let's see. I think he might be able to.
It'll be close. It'll be side by side onto back straight. Looks like Titkov wants to give Adventure some of that slipstream.
Meanwhile, Volker's finally cleared Nella, and now he sets his sights on Fraser.
Griffiths finally gets Adventure, and so does Roke.
Roke getting underneath Adventure, and the Racing Point driver is through.
Indeed so. Meanwhile, look at this.
But,
Fraser is going to get Adventure as well into turn 1, I believe. Or not. No, he had to back down a little bit. Meanwhile, Titkov only needs to lap Ben's Valgar.
Volker's trying to
going
get
for the
underneath
move.
Fraser here.
It's
Go on.
close, but not close enough. As now look at this. Griffiths gunning for the lead once again. We got just 41 laps to go.
They try and get the lead back off the Russian as they now make their way through. Titkov's going quite high, but not enough for Griffiths to capitalise.
No, definitely not. Wallinger is helping Titkov right now by giving some tow, as Titkov is not too close to Hungarian. I think he's using him strategically. As here we go on to lap 160. We have just 100 miles to go in this race.
Indeed, as now around the first corner on the track.
And we just hit 2 hours just now.
Yeah, one of them involving you, Julius Anderson. That's why you're out of the race. Sorry about that.
In any case,
Right,
Griffiths is
there
going
was-
for it. Very
there
close.
was time
He's
into-
got him. He's got past Titkov. Roke is following up as well. Roke is getting him through. Getting through as well, and he's got him. But for Adventure, he's going to try to take advantage too, and so will Fraser. Griffiths back in leader's race. He's led most of this. The next target for him is Benz Waldinger, who is still not a lap down, but will be if Griffiths gets the move. But Roke is going for it instead. Yeah, Roke's got Griffiths. Titkov will try to bounce back and take advantage of this. Griffiths has been caught high, and Titkov, one lap after losing the lead, takes it back.
So now a switcheroo going on there. Volker's still not able to get by on Fraser at the moment, so that battle for P3 is still brewing
I
behind.
have to say the left
Adventure.
cars are making this fight quite something else. Griffith is still caught high. Adventure is trying to take advantage. Adventure!
How on
My
earth did he keep that
goodness.
one?
He survived.
My goodness.
Somehow.
How on earth did Griffith survive that? It's now putting
What?
prey to both Fraser and
No.
Volker as a result.
How did he get away with that? That was insane. Griffith's very desperate there. He didn't want to be caught high, and he still tried to run with it.
And in a way, Adventure kind
How
of saved
did
the bacon
he
there by being
survive
on the
this?
inside.
Yeah, and definitely so. What could have happened to Griffiths if that Adventure wasn't there? What would have happened if that hit was harder? I think Jamie Griffiths definitely needs a new set of pants after that one.
And now he's dropped to fourth
Yeah,
because Fraser and Volker have got second and third.
Yep, that's right.
Now up to P2 and P3 respectively go Fraser and Volker. So now will they try and get through this traffic and try and go after Titkov?
And the question is, how much damage does Jamie Griffiths have as a result of that, if at all? because it could really compromise him. What do you think,
Indeed.
guys?
Who knows, really? It depends on what his pace is like with all this traffic, whether he's losing pace or
Yeah.
not. At the moment, I'm not seeing any signs of him losing some pace. He's still tagging onto the back of this train, but we will keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much traffic though.
Wouldn't say that just yet, George, because there is still a car. There's still a car between Titkoff and Fraser is now up into P2 as a result. So I wouldn't say that just
Yeah.
yet, George.
But that was an incredibly scary moment for Jamie Griffiths there.
Don't think you are
Yeah.
damaged, Jamie. I think you are very
Still.
lucky because you're still on the back of this train. You're still keeping up, so I don't think you have any damage. I think you're very lucky there, Jamie.
Graf is coming from the back.
Okay,
It's
well,
broken.
Yuri is claiming
It's
he's
broken.
damaged.
Oh
but-
no.
Yuri's claiming Jamie is damaged, but we will see on that. I don't think he is personally, but we'll see. Anyway,
I guess
back
so.
to the
In any
front.
case, yeah, here we have these guys,
We look
and
for
here we
Titkoff
have
and
the other
his guy.
guys.
Fraser's still trying to find his way through on adventure because once he gets by on him, his next target will of course be Maxim Titkov. But he's also got to keep an eye on
Yes,
Volker
indeed.
behind.
Yeah, Volker will be attacking quite hard, I'm sure. Graf is trying to get back in the fight as well. He's right behind Griffiths. About for 4th place where it is now.
Indeed,
Oh
so-
my goodness, Ferian is 41 seconds down.
Ooh.
Oh
I
dear.
wonder if he's stuck.
He-
I wonder if he's stuck behind
Possibly.
either Howl or Mocho. Oh no, sorry, it'd be Mocho now because Howl's out of
He
the
is.
race. So, in fact, Mocho is there. So yeah, there's Perenin. He's actually
Yeah,
at the front of this train. Look. The
Yeah,
front.
so only 8 cars not under threat of being lapped, which is insane.
Indeed, as Titkov's still stuck in this train right now. Fraser, if he wants to have a chance at winning this race, he's got to dispose of Adventure quite soon. As Titkov took a very weird line there going through to turn 2 there. I'm not sure
It
what he was doing there.
Almost looked like he was preparing for a pit lane entry, even though that wasn't the pit lane.
But that was the exit of turn 2, not the exit of turn 4. So a bit strange there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, our car and the Liverpool car goes really high. And please don't misinterpret what I just said, as Tobias Kress is trying to get himself involved back in the fight.
Indeed, so as Graf is now onto the back of Griffiths now. Then, so we've got a battle for 4th going on there.
Somehow the entire field is just about together.
Indeed, so in quite a weird way, it's fair to say.
And that way is definitely not pleasing Jesus Pernian or anybody behind him. Because look how
Nope.
much time these guys are losing.
Titkov thought about trying to get underneath, I think that was George Roke there, but thought better of it in the end as Lopez gets underneath his Mercedes teammate now.
Yeah, I don't want to be mean to Mocha, but I think he's definitely the villain of this race, judging just by how much he's impeded people today.
Indeed, so
Yeah.
as
You
meanwhile,
have Andreoli
Andreoli
making a move on Rafael Dummel. He's going very far to the left.
is indeed, but he's going to make the move stick. As
No, he's making a mistake.
whoa.
Oh,
Oh,
incredible! He went under
Fast,
that
he's gonna
curb.
He's actually going to gain
Oh.
2 places out of that. So very well judged there from Santino Andreoli.
How did he not hit either of them? That was incredible.
Was indeed. And keeping an eye on what's going on behind. Fraser's still stuck behind Adventure. I thought he was going to try and go for a move on him there, but still stuck behind him at this point in time.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Gomez is losing a position here. So is Dummel.
Indeed.
Looks like Griffith is hanging on to these guys.
Harding and Alden getting by on, I think that's Demel. Was that? I think that might be Demel. He's getting underneath now. Then, so he's getting
Yeah,
through
he's
on
going
him.
for Oh, almost
Oh.
crashing with Gomez. That was incredible.
That was so tight between Valdinger and Gomez.
think
But again,
Griffiths is in
Valdinger
the
just
pits.
able to judge that, and he's also going to get through on Quag as well.
Yeah, I think Griffiths has just pitted. And here goes Valdinger almost crashing with Andreoli again.
Oh.
He's actually gone into the grass a little bit. My goodness,
Again,
where are
he
these
was
guys
racing
going?
there.
Valdinger
Really?
and Andreoli both driving quite erratically.
I didn't even understand what Yuri just said there because everybody was talking.
He
over
said
each
somebody
other.
is gonna crash like this. And I was saying these guys are driving quite erratically on Joey and Vollinger right now.
Yeah.
Well, we will see, of course. In
Yeah,
fact,
well,
the third, we're
really,
quite
yeah.
close to go now.
Pretty much.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
Roman
it's-
Schwag, we haven't seen much of him in this race, but he's gaining a position.
Indeed so. As meanwhile, Fraser's still in second place. Volker's still sticking behind him at this point in time. Titkov's still leading the way. Still got adventure between himself and Fraser and Volker right now.
Yeah, indeed.
Now coming out of the last turn again. As we now are going to start lap 171 of 200. As
Adam
Mocho
has
goes
just
into
said
the pit.
Banzai Benza in the meantime.
Mocho is into the pit, so everybody who was stuck behind him, they'll all break free from this. Just pretty much everyone, really.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jesus Perignon definitely won't be satisfied with what happened.
Indeed, as now we've got Arnold getting underneath one of the AJ Foyt cars. I think that might be, it's a number 14. That'll be Gabriel.
Here
Rico,
goes
if I'm
Wolf,
not
meanwhile. He's just gone past Clark. He's got no one between himself and Perignon now. He's going to try to get past him and move up into P8. As Griffiths has
right.
pitted, of course.
Griffiths has just been in the pits. He's down in 25th, so scheduled stop for the Welshman. We should see some more then from the leaders very soon. I think we're on the last pit stop stages of the race.
Absolutely. Now here we have
should
Martinez,
be.
who's gone up all the way up into 10th place. Great effort.
I think Fraser's in.
Yeah,
Fraser's in the pits as well, because Volker's up to second. So Daniel Fraser is into the pits now then for a scheduled stop.
Here we have Volker trying to move on then in
I don't know why
adventure.
we're not getting. I don't know why we're not looking at Fraser, to be honest. In the pits.
Here we have
Yes.
Campana and there is Fraser. Watch
So
where
now
he
he's
comes
gonna
out
come
in
out where
relation
all
to
this traffic
Griffiths.
is.
That'll be what is key.
It'll be interesting to see what it is compared to Titkov. That is the question.
Indeed so. Indeed so. There is a lot of people there, including Parrish and Patel. Fraser and Campana are going out now. I think he is in front of Griffiths. Yeah, long way
Also,
in front.
Volker pits.
One way away from Griffiths. So, the question is, when is Titkov? In fact, Volker's in the pits now. Volker is in the pits now because number 31 is not there. So Florian Volker is now in the pits. So
And not just him, Graf is in,
Graf
and
pits.
Shirley is in too. With Adventure.
In the Graf is in. Yep. So Volker has been in the pits. He's currently P6 according to the timing screens. So in fact, where is he in comparison to Fraser? That's going to be a question mark.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
As
Here we have Adventure going out. Coming in, I should say. Sorry.
As he's got Valdinger just being served in front of him right now.
But these pit
Titkov
stops
still
could
not being in
break
the
that
pit.
huge train.
Titkov still not being in the pits at the moment, so he's still going out there at the moment. It'd be very interesting to see where he comes out in comparison to Fraser and Volker. As,
Indeed so. Here goes Valdinger going out on track. Here's Titkov, here's Androli. Titkov is trying to get onto the back of Gabriel Gomez to get some nice and juicy slipstream from him. As only 8 cars are on the lead lap right now, but of course we still need to wait for some pit stops.
In one of those, including Titkov, he's staying out there for quite a while, it's fair to say.
Mochin is also quite close. He is just 3 seconds down on Titkov.
Fraser is still ahead of Volker, meanwhile, so Volker wasn't able to get the
Just
jump on
narrowly.
Fraser.
Fraser is going for the outside of Turvik here, look.
He's got through, I think.
Yes,
And yes, he will.
that was brilliant.
And is Titkov coming in? That is the question. In fact, is he in now? Because there is a few cars now in the pits. Perinin is in the pits. I noticed his car
Titkov
was
is
there.
in, I think.
Yeah,
Just
Titkov is in
the
the
numbers.
pits. The race leader is in. Maxim Titkov is in the pits.
Now is
And,
David Kubok. We need to look for the other black car. There it is.
There he is. Has he been in or is he still yet to be served? He's pulling to the left. Let's have a look. He's pulling to the left, so he's just about to box now then.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be last stop and a 25-lap splash and dash to the finish.
And where is he going to come out in comparison to Fraser and Volker? That is the question.
Mochin is also staying out longer, as well as the number 59.
59 being Thomas Pascal.
Pascal, you've seen a lot of him early on in the race. Now he's bouncing back into it.
So where is Titkov going to emerge in comparison to Fraser and Volker?
That'll
Titkov
be
just
very
coming out of the
interesting to
pits
see.
now then.
Here is
There's
Volker.
Volker.
He's getting ahead of Fraser,
past
meanwhile. In fact, they
Fraser.
both jumped him. They both jumped him. Volker takes the lead.
Yeah, Florian Volker is
Yep.
the new race leader. What a twist this is.
Volker is going to lead once
Yeah.
everybody pits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could we have our first ever Monaco Grand Prix winner win the 500? Well, the first ever Monaco GP winner win the 500.
Who knows, really? In any case, the last 10 laps of this race will definitely have to be recorded.
Yeah, that is for sure. The last 10 laps, that is, once we get to 190. So, remember to do that, of course, when I get a
Martin
chance.
is also in.
And Motrin's in, so he's just finishing off his final stop. As Pascal's just finished his pit stop, he's just come into the pits. He was leading the race, so the top two have been in. So that
We
will
have
now put
Motrin.
Volker officially in the lead of the race.
Yes, indeed so. Here we have Jamie Griffiths in 8th place, and I'm afraid since that collision, he's been losing time.
Oh,
Yeah, sadly.
George, Flo came in before Fraser, so Florian doesn't need to pit. George, Florian is technically the leader of the race. I don't know why you're underrating him again.
We need to wait for Tomasz Pascal to come in, of course.
I think Chris also dropped Graf.
I think so. In any case, we need to keep a close eye on the timing tower.
It says there, look, Volker is now in the lead, the number 31.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Fraser second, the 15, and then Maxim Titkov is in 3rd. Gress in 4th.
And then it's Graf in 5th, Pascal in 6th, and Motrin 7th, followed by Griffiths in 8th. And then in 9th place, we have Adam Wolf, and then Martinez in 10th position from last. What a comeback.
Indeed, what a comeback
Yeah.
indeed. But I'm afraid if he gets past the 29, he won't be getting much more, since the gap is quite huge. Here goes Rogue, meanwhile, overtaking Will Neller. Next target for him is Gabriel Gomez.
Indeed so, as
Here we have Volker, and look at that. It is Fraser right behind.
indeed, Perinen is a lap down from this, which is a bit of a shame, because was in quite close to
I
the
think
front early
Pernan will
on.
be cursing at Michael Mocho for causing him to fall a lap down.
And Titkov is having trouble with traffic, so I think, to be fair, I think it is probably at the moment going to be between Volker and Fraser right now.
Yeah, indeed. Meanwhile, look at this. Griffiths is now 20 seconds down. He continues to lose time.
We're getting underneath Gomez now then, so Roke will get
Meanwhile,
himself into
Martinez
14th.
has got up into 9th place, I believe.
He's passed, in fact, I think it might be because somebody's pitted, in fact. So, because in 10th now, we have Roman Quag, who's in the top 10. So,
Yeah, I think Martinez might have a
now.
shot at P8 because he will catch Griffiths as Griffiths is struggling with damage. And so here goes Turvik trying to make a move there.
Trying to make a move there on, I think, one of the AJ Foyt
I
cars, if I'm not
think
mistaken.
that ended up being a very costly mistake for Jamie Griffiths. Look, he's lost 2 seconds on that last lap.
As now,
What a shame.
and it
Yeah,
was
big
Adam
shame.
Wolf who came into the pit, by the way. I just want to clarify, it was Adam Wolf who came into the pits. That's why Martinez has moved up a place.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, here we have Volker and Fraser. I didn't expect these guys to be battling for the lead, but you know what the 500 is like.
Indeed so, but they've got Mocho in front of this train again, so anything could change up here.
Indeed, so Mocho has been the bane to everyone's race today. A lot of people have fallen a lap down thanks to Mocho, and a lot of leaders have been slowed down thanks to Mocho.
Indeed so, as Volker will try and get hold of Turwick in front and try and pull a lap on him if he can. Maybe try and put a car between himself and Daniel Fraser.
Titkov will be trying to get close to these guys as well, but he's got to clear some cars first. And there won't be that much time because we got under 20 laps to go.
Look at Fraser, meanwhile. He's trying to get up to the gearbox of Volker now then.
We got under 50 miles. And how is this going to end?
Well, we will see, really. These two are also OC champions as well, let's not forget. Daniel Fraser, of course, being the reigning DTM champion. Of course, not in DTM this season because he's now in the top class. And, of course, Volker being a 5-time top class champion. Do I need to say any more on that? So, at the
No, you
moment, we
don't.
could have our second OC champion ending up winning the 500, but we will see.
Yes, indeed we will. Here we go. Onto lap 183. Volker continues to lead. Meanwhile, Titkov is under second. It could be very, very interesting. Anyone in top 7 could still win this race. I guess it's a little bit of a long shot for some.
Yeah, especially when you've got Titkov, who's got a load of cards between himself and Fraser right now. So,
Titkov needs to clear them as quick as he can. There's no other option.
indeed, as now they make their way through the final 2 turns on the racetrack. As Volker still trying to find his way through on Turwick in front of him right now. Meantime, Perinen trying to find a way through on Suter. I think probably just to lap him, if I'm not mistaken.
Here we have Gabriel Rico trying something. He was moving a little bit. As Mocho's still holding everyone up, but he will get passed by people. And when he gets passed is when big changes will happen throughout the field.
Indeed so, as Volker continuing to lead the way. Still got a bit of a gap between himself and Fraser, but
it's 3 cars between... no, it's 4 cars between Titkov and his opponents, by the way.
We now have how impressive of a resume Florian Volker has. In the OC, of course, being a 5-time top-class champion. Adding the Indy 500 to that will just be something else.
Yeah, but let's not jump down. The race is not over yet. We still got 16 laps to go.
As we now start lap 185 of 200 now then. Still a bit to go.
Yeah, indeed. We're into that crucial bit. It's near crunch time. And just who's going to win this? 208.9 for Volker. That's an incredibly slow lap. Sorry, that was his best lap. 205. He's gone. That's Mocho impeding everybody.
We've also passed the 2-hour mark from a while ago, so I thought we might point that out. We've been on the air now for over 2 hours.
Yeah, indeed. We're not going to be on the air for much longer.
I don't think we're going to reach 3 hours today, which I think is a bit of a relief.
I guess so, yeah. In any case, Titkov is still not making any inroads. He's stuck behind Armarka, and he'll need to clear him quickly because he's running out of time if he wants to catch these guys.
Indeed so, as they now make their way through out of turn number 1 and 2, I believe this is we're at, or the last 2 turns, I'm not sure.
Let us know your predictions, guys. Who's going to win this race? Is it going to be Volker, Fraser, or Titkov?
Or even anybody else behind Titkov, because you never know with this traffic.
Indeed so. Looks like Fraser was moving in a little bit on Volker. Is anybody going to start overtaking Mocho soon? Martinez is right there in P9. He's not trying to make any inroads.
By the way, Griffiths is probably thanking Mocho at this point because Martinez is the one who's behind Griffiths on track, and given the car problems that Griffiths has got, I think he'll be thanking Mocho if he can hold on to this P8.
Yeah, looks like he will. There isn't enough time, even if Martinez were to clear him now. But in any case, the race keeps going.
Some people saying Crest for the win, perhaps. A bit of a bold one, that is.
He could have a shot as well, but look at this. Fraser is right behind Volker. He's attacking.
In fact, I will point out with Griffiths, as George is just pointing out in the stream chat, because of everybody being held up, Griffiths is actually slowly catching back up to this pack, even with the damage.
It's 12 seconds now, but Griffiths will have an incredibly difficult time trying to gain places.
He will indeed, especially with a car that's not 100%.
Mocho's car is even worse though, so that is helping Griffiths.
Indeed so, as now we continue to look at the top 2 now. Then Fraser trying to see if there's any weakness in Florian's driving at this point in time.
Florian Volker is a man who is especially hard to beat, but Daniel Fraser wants to prove he can do it. He's prepping up a move. Where is it going to come?
Was looking there to the outside of Volker, but thought better of it. So he is thinking about it, but it's just about where he can make the move, basically.
Absolutely. And Volker does appear to be gaining enough onto Desmater Sturvik in front of him, I believe. So I think he's focusing fully on defense now.
Is indeed, as both Volker and
Titkov is gaining. He's just 8/10 behind. Has he been able to clear Armarka or not? No, he hasn't.
No, he's still behind Armar at the moment. Armar is still tagging onto the slipstream with Lincoln Parner at the moment.
That's definitely not good for Titkov's chances. He's only got 12 laps left to pass the back markers and then pass these guys.
Indeed, as we ride in the cockpit now of Florian Volker, as he will now try and go around the final corner now then. As you can see from the rear, look how close Fraser is to the back of Volker at this point in time. Will Volker potentially try and lap Turwick in front? He was getting close on the straight, but it's not going to be close enough.
No, definitely not. 204.4. Mocho is slowing down everybody a lot, and we're into the last 10 laps.
Lap 190 at 200, so we're getting to that crunch point of the race.
Indeed we are. Indeed we are, Joe. The move for Fraser is gonna come. The big question is when. Ideally, you want to leave it right at the end so you can't, so the opponent can't counter. But who knows when Daniel Fraser is gonna go for that move. And he needs to hurry because Volker might try to lap the guy in front of him.
On the final turn we go now then as they make
We gotta move there from Campana.
Brennan
Guy's
trying to
gonna be
get
caught
underneath.
high, I think. That could help Titkov.
Could indeed. Let's see if it does as they make their way through into the first turn. And Titkov, not close enough actually, surprisingly enough. And no, he didn't capitalise on that, surprisingly.
That's weird. That's definitely weird. In any case, Fraser's not making a move yet. And Titkov is running out of time if he wants to win this race. Could be a two-horse fight at this rate.
Indeed so. As now
Meanwhile,
coming
Griffith
around,
has got back to the leading pack, I'd just like point out.
has indeed, with a car that's not
Low
100%.
seconds.
He'll be
I think
thanking Michael Mocho.
Yeah, Mocho is definitely going to be the kingmaker today, but who's going to be king?
Who knows?
I think I'm the kingmaker as well, considering my crash brought a lot of people back into contention, but anyway.
Who will the racing gods decide? That is the question.
And does anybody apart from these two still have a chance? Do Kress and Titko still have a shot or not? We're into the last 10 laps, and it's crunch time, baby. Who is it going to go to? Volker has done a good job defending from Fraser so far. Fraser hasn't made any serious attacks, but you can bet he will make one before the end of this race.
We'll see, of course, Fraser getting close out of these last two turns. I'm not sure if he'll think about it because Volker's still got a bit of the toe from Turwick in front. So I think Fraser, if he wants a chance, he's got to be a lot more closer than what he is right now.
Indeed, meanwhile, Titkov, I just noticed he hasn't passed the Team Liverpool car of Amar Kah. This is bad for Titkov.
It is bad for him at the moment. Carv is not doing Titkov any favours right now.
No, absolutely not. And Mocha is not doing anybody any favor whatsoever. Apart from Jamie Griffiths.
Yeah, indeed. As heading down towards the final two turns now, then we go. And
Volker's looking vulnerable.
he is looking vulnerable indeed. If anything happens in front of these guys, especially whoever's behind Mocho, then it could get a little bit tasty. But we will see, of course.
Indeed. 7 to go. Who's it gonna go to? Looks like Volker is thinking about attacking Turvik right now. But he's gonna need to wait for Turvik to go high if he wants to take that position. And if he puts a car between himself and Fraser, that'll be key. Looks like though, meanwhile, nobody can overtake Mocho.
Not yet, no. He hasn't gone to the high side just yet. Martinez hasn't been able to go low on him so far. Now, as he thought about having to go there, but thought better.
He could have a shot into 4. Let's see now.
I don't think so. Maybe down the straight, we will see. Coming out that final turn now, then he's got Quag behind him as well as Martinez, so something to bear in mind.
It's been a while since we've seen a move though on Macho. Meanwhile, in the leaders, there they are. Varkel is under more pressure now than ever.
Is indeed, as now coming around, we've got 6 to go now there.
The second Macho gets overtaken, all hell will break loose. That's my opinion.
Indeed, coming around turn 2 now, then we go as making our way down the straight now. Then, and are they still all stuck behind Mocho at the moment? Because I didn't quite see his car at the front of the train there. Unless that's just unless that was just the game doing that, I'm not sure. But anyway, Fraser is right
behind. We need to look at Martinez, how he's doing.
So look, if we can see anything what's going on with Martinez. Is he still stuck behind Mocho? He is still stuck behind Mocho. He's still not able to clear him at this point in time.
5 to go. The crucial 5. Who's going to win this? Is it going to be Volker or is it going to be Fraser? Or does Titkov have any hope left? Well, Rosetta Martinez could be the one who decides it all. But he needs to overtake Michael Mocho. And when he overtakes Mocho, a lot of people are going to overtake him.
Indeed so, but at the moment he's still struggling to find a way through. Oh, the Andretti car in front.
Yes, indeed. And when will Mocho's defense crumble?
Who knows?
There's so much time left.
Will it ever come? That is the question. As Martinez again doesn't think about getting underneath Mocho at this point in time.
What
As
about the
meantime,
leaders?
4 to go. Volker, I think, Volker's still in front of Fraser at the moment. With 4 to go. At the moment, Volker just needs to keep calm and he'll get the Indy 500 win.
Indeed so, but the others in front of him might not be wanting to keep it calm.
It really depends really on what they're planning. Meanwhile,
Gotta move
behind, there's some
behind.
movement going on.
That is
As
Kress.
Kress is trying to get underneath Perinen.
Almost
And it
hitting
wasn't-
him. Graf is trying to squeeze in as well.
And Graf will squeeze through on Perinen.
Don't forget, Graf and everybody in front
No,
of
he
him
won't.
are guaranteed entry
right.
next time.
So far, the top 5, the guaranteed seats at the moment are going to go to Volker, Fraser, Titkov, Kress, and Graf at the moment, provided they sign
Just
up, of
3
course,
laps
next
to
year's
go.
Indy 500.
Has Martinez made the move yet?
I
don't
would
think
highly
so.
Doubt it. I highly doubt it. No,
They're
he
still
still
behind.
hasn't got
We
by
need to
him.
keep an eye on him because this might be his best shot.
I'm not sure, to be honest, if he will or not. But anyway, through into the final 2 turns we go now then.
Fraser is looking more desperate than ever. Is he going to leave it to the last lap to tag Volker?
The final turn as we're going to start the penultimate lap very, very soon.
Just 5 miles left in this. As here goes Lin Campana moving a lot. Titkov hasn't been able to clear anybody.
Oh, he hasn't. Is now going through the first turn now, then 2 to go then. Florian Volker just needs to keep this up and the victory will be his.
Daniel Fraser is not going to let him get away with it though. He's going to give it everything he's got and more.
Indeed so, as they still
This is
haven't been
Fraser's
able to
shot,
get-
look.
Indeed, but Volker still has the toe from Titkov, which will keep him in front. So,
That's not Titkov,
Well,
that's
is he keep-
Turvik.
Turwick, sorry. It began with a T. So, anyway, as
Close
they now
enough.
go around the... They go
This will
around
be the
final
last
corner.
2.5 miles, the last 4 corners for Florian Volker. It can be history. He's a Monaco Grand Prix winner. He's an OC World Champion. He's won 5 times. And he can be an Indy 500 winner as well. 1 lap
Final
between him and
lap.
glory. But Daniel Fraser, it's his last chance. Can he take it away from Volker? Or will the 5-time champion take the triumph?
Here we go.
It's been an
Volker gonna-
unceremonious end to the race, but
Very
something can still
close.
happen on the last lap. Turvik is moving around. Will Fraser get him into turn 3 or into turn 4? It's now or never.
See, into
Yeah,
the final 2
oh, never
turns.
indeed.
Fraser did not go for it that time by. He's only got 1 more corner, but I think Volker's gone in covered. I think Volker might have got this.
It's done. It's done. Only 1 corner remains. And Florian Volker, well, the last 20 laps have been pretty boring, but in any case, Florian Volker has done an incredible job. And for the first time ever, he is an Indy 500 winner.
Congratulations to Florian Volker,
Yeah.
the first Monaco GP winner to win the 500. There's some sliding going on at the end of the race.
Incredible stuff from Volker. Incredible stuff. I started in P number 31, and in the end it was car number 31 that took victory. Martinez hasn't been able to get by on Mocho in the meantime. But my goodness me, Florian Volker has won this race. And there were times when it seemed he would not be in the fight. But a lot of things happened, including a pace car that changed everything. And yeah, Florian Volker has won this. And he can
It's the win of
definitely thank
Seagull.
myself and Michael Mocho for that.
Yeah, indeed. Well, these
Yeah,
guys are about to
indeed.
finish the race because they were a lap down, and very soon we will go through the results and who got the in fact, quickly, who got the fastest lap of the race whilst we're on the screen. Who got the fastest lap? It was Perinen. Perinen got the fastest lap in this race then.
Yeah, his pretty unceremonious end, I guess, but Florian Volker has taken victory. He'll be kissing the bricks and drinking the milk. And yeah, Daniel Fraser so close, but yet so far it's second for Fraser. Volker has won today. Maxim Titkov, he was bouncing up and down the field for most of this race. He looked like he had a shot. Unfortunately, the traffic pretty much ruined his chance. He still takes third, though. Tobias Kress, what a shame. He was in the fight for lead for so long, both him and Graf. But the pace car definitely took the American attention. Dennis Graf is P5. Tomasz Pascual, we didn't see much of him in this race, but he finishes in P6, just outside the guaranteed entries. But I think he'll be happy with his drive. Roland Mochin is in P7. Jamie Griffiths, one might have been. He led the longest. He led for so long in this race. Unfortunately, a small brush with the wall curved his chances for the win. He'll be thankful he still finished the race, though, only 3 seconds away from the victory. Then it's a huge gap thanks to Michael Mocho, and that huge gap has after it Rosita Martinez from last to ninth, not bad at all. Roman Quag completing the top 10. Ben Zvaldiger in 11th, Adam Wolf in 12th, Santino Jolie 13th on his first 500, and George Roque is in P14. Joe, you can do the next.
In P15, we have Will Neller, followed by Gabriel Gomez in 16th position. Then Matthijs Terwijk 17th, Amar Carr in 18th. Jesus Perinen is in 19th with David Kupok in 20th. Will Parrish is 21st, followed by Franco Lopez in 22nd. Rahul Patel in 23rd. Kirishima De Rosa 24th, followed by Daniel Adventure in 25th. Michael Clark 26th. Rafael Demal 27th. Franco Gama in 28th. And Dennis, you can read the rest from 29th onwards.
Okay, P29, we have Alan Jefferson. Right behind him, we have his compatriot, Gabriel Rico in P30. Then we have Alex Arnold in P31, ahead of Jay McKenzie, 3 laps down. Then we have Fong Chinat in P33, also 3 laps down. Joseph Felix Soto finishes in P34. We have Michael Mocho and Leon Campana. It was hard break for Campana as he led in the early part of this race. The following drivers retired: Musan Potziuk, Robert Ionescu, Simon Oskan, John Howell, Jake Galloway with a header failure, and of course Julius Anderson.
Yeah, indeed. And I think it would be very appropriate if the race winner wanted to come home for an interview after a fantastic race. So, guys, what do you think? Should we add him to the call?
Yeah, if he wants.
If he wants to, that is. I wonder if he's a bit busy, though.
He was sending me stuff from his U4 run, European Universalis 4 game, whilst the race was going on. So let me see what he told me. And
his name is added into this group chat. He is added into this.
Yeah, he said, "Lol, I have bankrupt Emperor." He was playing U4 while the race was going on. He was declaring a war, and Austria didn't want to join the war. In any case, we have the Indy 500 champion with us in the call now, and what a race that has been. Talk us about it, Flo, and congratulations, you're an Indy 500 winner. You have taken the double crown.
Yeah, I'm so happy right now. After I finished this race in first place, I really can't believe it because there's 42 drivers on the grid. And the Seagull livery did it.
Yeah, Volker by Autosport has taken the win on their first entry. And Flo, I believe you owe me for a lifetime now.
I guess so, yeah. I guess so.
Indeed he does.
In any case, that was a very entertaining drive. And are there any questions you guys wish to ask Flo?
Don't think I have anything really to add to that, really.
Well, I got a question. Flo, what were those last few laps like?
Yeah, I was really nervous. But in the end, my driver did it. And I'm now very happy and relieved that I have won this.
And on top of that, you also get a guaranteed slot for next year as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. Looking forward already.
I think you must have really enjoyed that race-winning move you made on Fraser. After
yeah, for sure. It was a chaotic part of the race when the crash happened with Europe, and after that, I pretty much moved in front in the top 10 and took some more places, and then actually was able to pass Fraser, and I ran it home. So
yeah, indeed. I think though you will be gutted for Jamie Griffiths or what happened to him, right? He was looking so good for another win, but then the disaster struck, I guess.
Yeah, that was really a shame for him. I'm quite sad because he would have most likely, I think, even won it. But after he had the damage and the crash, I think it was pretty much over for him.
Yeah. Another really interesting thing is for much of this race, there was a big gap, thanks to Mocho, between the front three, which were Kress, Griffiths, and Graf, and everyone else. The gap reached 30 seconds at some point, and you were among that everyone else group. And eventually, that gap ended up being closing down. You stayed on the lead lap, which gave you the opportunity to get in the leading group and eventually take the win. So it just shows you never want to give up in this.
Yep. That's always the thing. Never give up, as John Cena would say. so yeah.
Well, in any case,
Cena.
I think this was a quite entertaining race. We only had 2 cautions, which is quite good. And yeah, I think we've all been Hoosiers today, and it was a good spectacle, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think it was. Obviously, I don't think it was as good as last season's race, if I'm being totally honest. But
I agree,
think
I
it had
agree.
its moments. It had its moments, that's for sure.
Well, the 500 came and did not disappoint. They went well, and we have a brand new winner. First winner who is also a top class champion. So, congratulations to Florian Volker. Commiserations to the losers. That's been it from us. Thank you very, very much for joining us for these 2 days, guys. And yeah, I have not been Joseph Willows.
No, you have not. I've been Joseph Willows, though. And
And Dennis
I've been
has
the
been
grass
Dennis.
remover.
Yeah, I've been Robert Ionescu. And thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And Yuri has been Yuri, of course.
Your
yeah.
god.
We will see you again for the next
Oh
We'll
God.
see you again next time whenever we see you. But until the 500, it's been a good one, Indiana. We'll see you again next time. Take care and bye bye, guys.
Class back next week, of course.
Bye, big time.
And of course, this week, DTM and hopefully BTCC.
Yes,
Well,
indeed.
it should be anyway.
But until then, that's been it from us. Thank you so much, guys. And we've been back home again in Indiana, and it was a good one. Take care, and we'll see you again for the next one. Ciao, ciao.